Hello, hello, hello. I'm on time for a change. Put a 1 if you can hear me. Hey, Sagacious, and the lovely Tinksy Bell, our very own YouTube fairy. How are you, Tinksy? Hope you're doing well. Hope you've got the snacks with you tonight. And the lovely Halsey eats Nemo's. Hey, Be Good. How are you? Oh, hold on, I'm echoing. Shite. Hold on, peeps. I think that might be me okay now. Hey, Craftastic. No, it's not. Ah, shite. How long? Hold on. How do I get out of this? Have I got an echo? Hey, JD. Because it sounds as if I've got it. Oh my God. I'm here. Can you hear me okay now? I am actually such a dickwad. Oh my God. Yeah, I had the headphones plugged into my phone, not a laptop. Yeah, me. Yeah. Jesus, I'm a dickwad. Thank you, Be Good, and thanks for coming in, girl. Hit that thumb on your way out. Hey, Sandy. Hello, Kitty. Lila Rose's mum. Oh, that's lovely. I've got some guests in the back, and there's a lovely Captain Lee fan. How's the vaping going? Did we ever get onto the vaping? Hey, Sugar Babe. Ginger. And I know Craftastic can't stay with us long tonight because she's other plans, but I know she'll listen on replay as well. And I see that Halsey is doing diamond painting. I've actually thought of diamond painting myself. And I think it would be quite a common thing to do. And I might just order some off the Amazon. Oh, you started last night, Captain Lee fan. Right, well, I'm going to bring on my guests. And we've got, he hasn't been seen around these parts for the last couple of weeks, but he's here tonight. Injured, but he's here. Hello, Dave.
Hello.
And I'm going to bring up our most lovely hostess. Hello, Sigourney.
Hello, Big D. Hello, Juror.
And we've got the lovely replay crew in the house.
He's back.
Hi.
We're waiting on another guest, and she should appear very, very soon. But I was just looking here. Has anybody ever tried the diamond painting?
No.
Not yet, but I do want to. I've been meaning to get one for ages because I see people doing it and they all say it's really good. So I've been meaning to get one.
You know, because I actually think it would be a very common thing when you're not on the tubes. Nobody's answering me, are they? Hey, Bones.
We're too scared to chat because it's either silence or everyone goes at the same time. We're all too scared to butt in, aren't we? We're trying to be polite.
I think we are. I think we are a bit scared. So what's the crack with everybody?
Wow.
Today, have you lot, right? I know just to derail the chat a minute.
Right.
Has anybody been following that case at Idaho 4?
Yes.
Right. Today, did you listen? Have you listened to that audio?
I have, and it's a load of bollocks.
Do you think so?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. But we're not going to start. We're going to
Right, okay.
hold off on that. We're going to hold off because there's absolutely no way that law enforcement have let that out. And thank you very, very much to my secret watcher, who's always here quietly and always supports me. Thank you very much for the PayPal. I've got a secret watcher.
Right, and gossip. Right then, yesterday I came into your chat. I thought it was yesterday. Sorry, I came in yesterday, right, thinking it was yesterday you'd live, and I put a little message in your chat, obviously, and where it is. I came off YouTube at Christmas. You know what I mean? It's too much. You know what I mean? I've got a family, I've got kids, and I sat back. I was watching chats, but I wasn't. I wasn't involved, and everybody's just hypocrites on here. They're disgusting. This is not a trauma community. It's like a bunch of frigging inmates from an asylum what's been released. They're just vile, a lot of them. And they've all got their hands in it, do you know what I mean? And then they sit on a panel and they say, blah, blah, blah. They've done this and they've done that. And then next minute they're in different chats and they're doing exactly the same stuff, what they're being accused of and what they're screaming about. Do you know what I mean? So I've sat and thought about it. It's that toxic, Juror, right? We're getting to a point now where it's okay for rape victims to be bullied. It's okay for, you know, I mean, it's not right. And I don't want to be a part of that because it's getting to the point now where somebody's going to snap, either hurt somebody or somebody's going to hurt themselves. And I don't want that on my conscience to be a part of it.
I totally agree with you. I think we've been saying this for quite a while. We can see it getting worse and worse and worse. And the only way I can see it, obviously, someone going to prison with all these court cases going on. We don't want that. Someone hurting themselves or hurting someone else. And that's the only way we can see it going. I mean, I try and stay out of the hard drama that we call the hard drama because it's just too crazy for me and I'm not interested. So I try and stay out of that. But I think we can all see, it's plain to see that it is getting worse and it's going to end in disaster. And as you say, I don't want to be part of that.
I don't know. I don't want that on my conscience. You know what I mean? To be involved. If I find out somebody, and I've been supporting somebody for a year or different chats, and then somebody took something literate and went and harmed themselves, I won't be able to live with that because I was a part of that and I don't want that. Do you know what I mean? It's just vile and it's just toxic and people need to just log off, take a few days off and sort their heads out because it's just sick and twisted. Do you know what I mean? Yesterday, I did a little post on my wall, and then I went cancelled every single membership I've got. I unsubbed to everybody. I just don't want it no more. Do you know what I mean? I'll pop in now and again to people's chats, but I'm staying on true crime bit or just logging off. Do you know? So what's it? Because it's just
what you're saying, Replay, and I know you're angry, and I get it because I have had people come to me and I've been friends with people on here for many years and they feel exactly the same. They don't want to be involved in this shit, basically. And it is a shit
exactly.
pit.
And it's disgusting. I mean, it's like I'm seeing my friends what they don't comment in chats in case they get bullied. And they're going after subs, right? And people don't know what to do, do you know? And it's not fair. It's not fair on subs for a start. Do you know what? People just need to grow up, log off, and sort it out behind the scenes, get it sorted like an adult instead of being children. Because honestly, my 10-year-old daughter, that's more mature than half of these people on here. Do you know what I mean? And I just don't want to be a part of it.
I think a lot of us from the same group came from another community.
Yeah.
And we actually really believed, and we still believe in what we stood up for. And it was for victims and their families. One particular one. All right. Did we go toe to toe with people? Absolutely. We all did. Sagacious can tell you that. JD, we still do. Meg Healy. But now what we're finding is
it's acceptable.
Yeah. It's
You know,
it's
I mean, sorry, I didn't mean everybody.
no,
I'm
go
not.
ahead.
I've never been a victim of anything. I've never been a victim of violence. I have hit people. I've been arrested for that, but I've never been a domestic violence victim. I've never involved with. I've never touch wood. I'll be all right. But I'm just saying. And then what happened to Sally Ann? And I don't really know her that well, but when she was saying that and Laurie about her past and what she had to go through and the shit she got over that. What was it? I went into that chat and I went crazy at that idiot over there and the frigging furball. Can't stand him. Do you know what I mean? And what's it? He's just a vile little bitch. That's what he is. He's like a little girl. There's nothing the
Hey,
man on
no, look,
honestly.
Meg, no, nothing's happened, Meg. This is just sure. I normally go live at this time every week, girl.
Yeah.
And I know Sandy's definitely staying out of the drama, and she's in everybody's chats. I haven't been in chats this last week or two because I don't
No, I
want
haven't
to.
either.
I just don't want to. I've
It's
looked up. It's the same old shit.
it is. It's the same regurgitated bullshit every week. And then everybody keeps giving each other high fives. Who can get the most nastiest, vilest, make more money? Because that's all it's about now. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's disgusting, honestly. I sat and listened to one live for 5 minutes. I had to log off. Do you know what I mean? Because honestly, they just
Hey,
they
Penny.
are. And everybody saying they don't want the drama and they don't want to be, but they're there doing little videos and like little screenshots. And just stop, ignore each other, block each other. Simple. Nothing hard about that, is it?
I think
Or
that does
log off.
work as well.
Isn't
That
it?
does work. Not all the time, I have to say. Sometimes you do try and ignore, a
Yes,
situation is
yeah,
different and they just carry on. So, but in 9 times out of 10, if you do just say to yourself, right, I'm just not going to talk about that person, 9 times out of 10,
exactly.
they will stop talking about you. Yeah.
Exactly. And then what's it? You speak about that little triggered cow over there, meaning Fairball, right? He sits there and watches everybody's lives. He's in everybody's chats causing shit. Then you dare say anything to him, right? Yeah, he strikes your channel. He needs to grow up or go away. Do you know what I mean? Because I tell you, if he was over here, somebody just smash him all over. He's just a horrible person, and he should never have been brought here anyway.
Well,
But,
I mean, if we're talking about Lincoln,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I won't utter his name. I can't stand
no,
him. Never have
right,
liked him.
fair enough. There's things that Lincoln has done that I haven't agreed with. There's also things that have been done, hey, Air Force vet, that have been done to him, which I haven't agreed with. And it's got to the stage now, there's no right or wrong in any of this. And that's why I'm not going to be talking about it anymore. I'm not going to involve. I'm not going to participate because it's just shite, basically. I think if we're going to call people out, it's got to be.
Everybody's being called out. Everybody's all to blame. You know what I mean? He came into this community. He popped up in Natasha's chat, which he did. He went upon, and everybody thought, "Who's that? Who's that?" Do you know what I mean? Then he got brought over here, right? Yeah. Everybody welcomed him, right? And then all of a sudden they fell out, and then that's it. And I was stuck
we
with
didn't.
I
You know
what
to
I mean?
Dorothy's chat. I belong to Dorothy's chat, and at that time it was all balls to the wall against Lincoln at that stage. To be fair, I would say we pretty much ignore each other, and it works. And I believe Lincoln is the sort of person, if you don't talk about him, he won't talk about you. Well, I found that anyway. Maybe we give an odd jab here or there. That's okay. This is the community that we're in. That's what's meant to happen. But I think whole lives made against one person, it's not right.
Yeah.
And it has turned into a game, JD. Hey, Jane. But I get what you're saying, replay.
It is. It's just it is. And when he came here, obviously he'd been kicked out to different communities because he's just a vile person. But what I'm saying is the people who encouraged it knew exactly what his past was. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone knew
Unbeknownst
what
to
his past
everybody.
was.
Well, I didn't
And
know him. Do you know what I mean? I didn't, from first moment I saw him, right? Yeah, what's it? There's just something not right about it. Do you know? Oof. But what
now,
I'm saying is, they're just incredible. He's loving it, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He thinks he's all that.
well,
He's
we
just a
did all
little.
know. I mean, it came to our attention when he first came over.
Yeah,
Nobody can sit there and say that they didn't know. All
yeah,
those clips were out there well before, and he was
exactly.
accepted, and until he wasn't. But we all knew. All of us knew. Um, I I'm not going to be popular when I say this,
I'm
but I will
probably not
say
going
this:
to.
I have seen people floating about in our community that is 100 times worse than like Legion.
Oh, I've seen it myself, Juror. Seen it myself. You know
I've
what I
been
mean? I've been
shocked,
watching.
actually. I've been
Yeah,
shocked who I've saw.
and exactly.
Yeah,
You've got somebody screaming on one side of the room of a so something. Well, I mean, we're talking about Lindsay now. She's an idiot. I mean, what is she? She makes out she's a DeLorean. Go back in time, then, Doc. Go back to 4 years ago, and then think about the bullshit you're putting on because it's just the same shit every year, but a different person. Do you know what I mean? First it's Paula, then it's Angela, then it's Holly, now it's Jess. You know what I mean? Next year it could be someone else. Same shit, different day. Then she's there crying, but then she's going in other chats, and so does everybody else. Everybody's hands aren't clean. Do you know what I mean? Causing trouble, just carrying on with it. Log off, innit?
but they won't.
I know they won't. No. So then I think it's just a game. Who can? To me, it feels like they're all in on it together. Personally,
He
it's
said
like
it
who
wrong.
can? Yeah.
Well, you see, the thing is, it's up to each individual how much participation they want to do in this, right? I've always been quite open that I support who I support and I like who I like. If I don't like you, I don't watch you. Now, do I watch certain other creators that's not maybe, hi Andrea, that's in our circle? Yeah, I do. I do. Because actually I quite enjoy some of them. I also have people that bat for the other side that are friends of mine offline. We just don't talk about it. And it works.
Exactly. I mean, I've got friends who are in there what support him and support Lindsay. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But when we're in a different chat, we don't talk about that, or they're in the topic chat.
Yeah, I
You know
think
what I
it
mean?
does come down to
Yeah.
individual choices, doesn't it? And let people be individuals and don't be
Yeah.
cross. You know, if someone goes over to someone you don't like, we're just gonna have to get over it. Do you know what I mean? Like people, people are individuals and go where they like. So
But
again, like you say, it's
you're right,
individual
Sagacious.
choice, isn't it?
You're right, actually, what you said, because it's got to the stage now that people feel that they can't come into your chat
Exactly.
or they can't
And
go to this chat. And I'm like, hold on a minute. I've been friends with these people for fucking years. What's the problem? I'm not in a community. I belong to my own channel. This is my channel where I come live on a Saturday and I speak about what I think. But I'm just seeing it as for what it is, and I'm not playing. I'm not interested in it. It's
that's
boring.
what
It's
that's what
boring.
I was on about. Yeah, that's what I was on about to you yesterday. It's just sitting back and watching what's going off really, and then going, it's disgusting, and then we've got people who've come out of Natasha's camp who've been vile, and I mean recently, but they're welcomed in with open arms. So I'm
Hey,
out.
Kes.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I get that. I get that. I mean, I've seen people that are in each other's chats that have said the most horrific things to each other. They've called each other
Exactly.
snedophiles. They've called,
Mm-hmm.
so many horrendous things. So either it was all a game all along, or I can't actually, I don't know why. I
You just need to stop, basically. You just need to stop, don't they? Anyway, that's all I needed to say. So if anybody else wants to talk, I'll listen.
What do you think, Dave? What's your opinion?
I dropped them all quite a while ago. All the assholes that were in the community. I mean,
But you're saying arseholes, but there's more than. Right, okay. I think a lot of people at the minute are being arseholes.
Well, the one thing is,
Right.
A lot of feedback there, replay.
Right. Come back.
Are you there? I'll knock her off and she maybe can come back.
no, no, I mean all this thing that's happening with the people going real life and stuff like that. And I don't mean to offend anyone in the audience or anything like that, but it seems to be the American crowd that's causing the most trouble.
I don't know if I agree, Dave. I think it's because, hey, Welch, I think I wouldn't like to say whether it was American or UK or Irish. No, I wouldn't like to say it's
I don't agree that. I think people are individuals, and you've got to take people as they are as an individual person. I don't think it matters where people come from, actually.
Oh, it does seem to be that way. Look at Lindsay.
But
Look at Lycan.
Lindsay,
Look at...
I have never had any interaction with Lindsay, right?
No, I haven't
choose
either,
not to.
Oh,
I choose not to.
wait till she gets bored and then she starts going after you for no reason but just to cause trouble.
Yeah, but I don't think she would. And if she did, I can only speak for me personally.
Hey, darling.
I would just not respond. I mean, it's just as simple as that. She doesn't know me. I don't think she has any reason to speak my name. And if she did, I just wouldn't respond. I think it's as simple as that.
I think I've always been the sort of person that I pick my battles. There is people I will go head to head with, no problem with it. But there's other people I just ignore. Sagacious knows who they are, and I have ignored them, and because I don't want to participate. I know Lindsay keeps getting brought up and brought up. I've known her around for a few years now. I don't speak about her. She doesn't speak about me. Now, what the problem is, there's history. Normally when there's history, Dave, that's when there's problems, like that anti-MM.
I don't know too much about this MM crowd. I mean, when I first came in, it's like I said, the first person I actually when I started knowing there were lies about was Melissa Jade, and she wasn't she was no trouble. But it's people that have come in from another community, namely people like Lycan and this Sarah After Dark and Lindsay and this Brutally Honest and all that. And they
Dave,
probably don't
we've all
have
come from different communities.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when you've known Country Joe for a while. She's not a troublemaker.
No.
Has she been a bit of a pain in the ass with some creators, and accidentally she might have caused a little bit of aggravation between some? Sometimes we've all done it. But the thing is, the three of us, we don't go out there publicly to cause trouble. Half the audience, like JD and all that, will speak their mind. And because the people can't take criticism, they will turn on And when you have a loyal crowd following a particular creator, it could be any creator. They do tend to turn on that person that's criticised. You see,
but I think people have to be a little bit less bothered about who's supporting whom. If there happens to be someone you don't like, don't watch them. And if they've got 100 people in chat, speak to them, because they're the people that want to be there for them. And I think people have to be a little bit less bothered about who's supporting who's not supporting who, and just let people get on with it. People speak with their feet, the subs speak with their feet. They come in if they want to come in, they don't come in if they don't want to, at the end of the day.
True. I mean, I didn't watch. I was aware of what was happening to TT. I fully support TT. She knows it, right? I didn't go into chats. I didn't listen to the other person that was when she was live. I chose not to. I don't want to be involved in that, Dave, right?
Yeah.
Because it was just, I wouldn't give her the view, and I won't listen to that. I just won't listen to it. And it's none of my business, but I do support TT. Absolutely, I do. And I think it's okay to be supportive from a distance. But, you know, and Pesky, you're exactly right. We don't have to like the same people. We just don't.
No, we really don't. I mean, it's such a good point. People can have different friends. People like people for different reasons. You might have something in common, you know, for very different reasons. And you can have very different ideas on a certain situation. You can think the total opposite, but you can still be friends.
It's like, I see Shift here. I've known Shift years on and off here. I don't know what's going on. I just know her to say hello to and walk on by. That's all I need to know. I don't need to get involved in all the dramatics, because again, it's not my business. Who she's fighting with, who she's not. It's not really anybody's business.
Yeah. The only thing I've said to Juror privately is, I don't care who your friends are. You might have friends that I don't like. I might have friends that you don't like. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The only thing I've specifically said is don't tell them anything about me, and I mean not even what I've had for breakfast. And she's, of course I wouldn't, you know. So that's my only thing. People talk to whoever they like. Just don't talk about your friends to the other people. That's it, you know.
No, I've known you Shift for a couple of years. You've bounced around. Have I ever really went into your channel? Not really, no. I haven't a clue what you're talking about. I don't want to get involved in it, so I've stayed out of it. I don't know what's happened between you and Moon, and it's really none of my business. Like when things happen between me and another creator, I mean, really, you're on your own on here. Let's be honest. Everyone looks out for number one. But I get what you're saying, Dave. Dave is the sort of person, you're like, there's only one line and that's it. Do you agree, Dave?
I wouldn't say it's one line. I think the mistake we've done as creators is we've let subs overtrust us, because look at what Dorothy's done to people, for example. You know, if they've emailed them and she's been holding them to ransom and reading emails and slagging people off in the hope that they'll fire back at her, which in my case never happened. I mean, in your case, it took a long time before you thought, "Oh, sorry, I'll start doing shorts about it just to get off me back." But you did it in a polite way, and it drove her up the wall.
Hey, Paige.
But the trouble is, when you're dealing with the likes of Lycan, that seem a lot of people are saying he's running his chat like a cult. You know, they can't. You know, if any of them are creators, they can't go live at the same time as he does, for example.
Oh yeah,
Dave,
he said that.
but Dave, don't let that worry you, because if you don't watch him, right, and he's not coming at you, we can happily ignore each other. Replay, your devices are not connected, my dear.
He's too scared to come after me.
Hey, Cat.
Pesky, Rabbit and I don't get on so well at the moment, but we did get on very, very well, but not at the moment.
Dave, you've never actually had someone go toe-to-toe with you. And when I say toe-to-toe, I mean been dragged every day, right? And hundreds of people in chat. Sagacious has. I have.
Well, I've been dragged once.
Well, I'll ask you that question.
Yeah, it's quite different when they start a whole live and they say, right, we're just gonna go for Sagacious. I've blocked her. Come in, fill your boots, tell me everything you dislike about her, and that goes on for 3 hours. I was called cunt, bastard, everything under the sun for 3 hours. Twice.
Yeah, but it's different for you women. You women are more obsessive about certain things than what men are. I mean, if somebody's dragging, say I fell out with either you two, and you two decided, we've got something juicy on this guy, you know.
Hold on, Dave. Shift. I'm going to be quite blunt here. If I was doxed 38 times on here, I wouldn't be on here. I wouldn't be on here, right? If my family or my life was being interfered with YouTube shit, I would hit that end broadcast and I would fuck off out of here, right? The worst that can happen at the minute is you get a dragon, right? But if you're being doxed continuously and targeted and harassed, it's time to get out of YouTube. Because what are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of it? And it's not anybody's problem. I'm not ignoring it. It's none of my business. You don't know what's went on with me or Sagacious or Dave, or because you don't care. Why would you care? You know, like, why would you care? I don't know who you're fighting with. I don't want to know who you're fighting with.
No, that's the thing. I think that
I know about the crime shift. It's gone. I'm telling you now, you get sympathy for a week on YouTube.
yeah, you
After
can't.
that, it's old news.
You
People
can't
aren't
fight everyone's
interested.
battles for everyone. You know, you are
No, and I
entitled,
wouldn't do it.
especially when you have your own channel. I don't expect anyone to stick up for me. If I've got something to say, I'll say it on my own channel. And I understand why people don't care because they've got their own issues going on. I don't expect anyone to come up and just stick up for me.
Oh, Shift, I will do me. Absolutely, I will. And I wish you all the very best. But if it's interfering with your private life and you're being doxed, it's time to exit. I would. Because I wouldn't put my mental health or my family, not for YouTube shit. Now, if you're making a cool 10 grand a month, I can understand that. But you're not making anything. You're like me, I'm not monetized. Why would I put myself through that? Replay, you're not connected. Oh, hold on, you are. Hello?
Nope,
Shit.
she's gone again.
I mean, I do remember Shift, you and Meg Healy at it. Yous were at it for months, and I had to step in. It got so bad in chats. But yous are friends now. So this is what I'm talking about. Why would I step in and interfere?
I think the problem is I mean, you have these, you've got these GoFundMes, and I think you'll get a lot more people trying to raise money to get all these PPOs or whatever they are in the States, and somebody's going to get sued. And then it's going to go further and further and further.
Well, I can tell you right now, whoever's got fund for court cases, I don't give a penny to anyone.
No, you see, I don't. You see, if you doxed me, if I said Sagacious and Juror my address, right? It doesn't bother me if I'm doxed. But you go after my kids, and I don't care what part of the world you're in. If my kids get seriously hurt, I come over to see you. That's not a threat because I don't carry out threats. But if I promise to do something, I do it.
Hey, Candy. Good night.
That's where you got to be careful with me. That's why Lycan will not go after me because he's shit scared of me. Because
well, I just wouldn't. Nobody is going to go after you physically. Let's be honest. If you live in America, you're in Scotland. There's a good chance no one's going to fly over the pond.
I mean, look, if you saw the size of me, I'm not a particularly big built guy, but I'm tall, and I know how to handle myself. I mean, obviously, with me hand as it is at the moment.
But we shouldn't be talking like that. This is YouTube. This is what I'm saying.
But this is where it's getting to.
But it shouldn't be.
I mean, it's far easier in America. This is what I'm saying about. I'm not on about Americans. Is if you're all a pain in the ass. What I'm saying is those creators that deliberately go after doxing, and because it's far easier with the records open, they're American. They couldn't give us stuff. I mean, how many cases have we known in the last 6 months where people have been getting these PPOs and ROs?
Yes, but you can keep out of it. You can. Like, if you see it going, if I see things going too crazy, I don't go in there. I don't participate in it. I step away.
That's what I've done. I've stepped away. I've dropped all the main, you know, like SR dropped, like, and I've dropped Lindsay, I've dropped
And it goes
the
back
edge,
to what Replay
quite a
said
few.
earlier. You know, we can look as a community, we can see things going bad. We know at some point someone is going to get hurt. I don't want any part of it. Replay doesn't want any part of it. So we step away. We step back.
We do, and that's what I've done, and that's what I've chosen to do. I didn't join YouTube for this. It's not something I deal with. Hey, Factory. It's not something that I ever wanted to be in. And I learned that the hard way was when the first experience of it was when I was part of Dorothy's channel. And when she was going after Jess. That's why me and her would have argued, because it was too much for me. I didn't like it. I didn't want involved in that. And I refused to listen. And that's what I'm doing now. Like Sagacious, you feel the same. So many of our friends feel the same. That we just don't want to be part of this anymore.
No, and I won't be.
Hey, Dawn.
When I see it going so crazy and it can only end in disaster, again, there is no right side. You just have to come out of it. But everyone wants to see a shit show. Everyone wants, you know, it's like ambulance chasers, or you know, it's like there's a crash on the motorway. You drive slowly past. You know, you have a little look. People are watching the shit shows, but you know, it can only end in disaster, and we really shouldn't be allowing it or participating in it.
Replay, your devices are not connected. It says, and it won't let me add you to the stream. Devices are not connected.
And Sandy, she says, I wish people would stop saying you're not loyal to me. Sorry, but nobody knows my feelings. Please don't call people out.
I see Sandy everywhere, and that's okay. People should be able to go wherever they want. Now, it's different if Sandy was over somewhere ripping into me. Well, that's different. Yeah, I'm going to say something. Replay, you're going to have to turn off your phone and turn it back on again. Dawn, that's a good question. I want to ask, I'm not trying to cause arguments, but don't you think creators should stick together when we can see what's going on? I can see what's going on.
But it's got to
And
be
that's the
some
problem.
the thing is, there's got to be some form of trust between creators before they
Create,
stick together.
yeah. I mean, we have creator friends, of course we do, but as a conglomerate, if you think, oh, all these creators have to come together, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. There's too many strong personalities. There's too many backstories as well. You know, we've been here 4 or 5 years. There's backstories. You know, it's far too complicated.
Yeah, it is.
It's just a case of not mentioning certain creators in their life if we can help it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got that choice. And, you know, if you want to get involved in it, brilliant, go for it, knock yourself out. I don't want to be involved in it. Now, that's not to say I won't do drama. No, that's not what I'm saying. Of course, we're going to do a bit of drama. Of course we are. But the drama that's going on at the minute, nah, it's not for me. And it's not for a lot of my friends either. But they can speak for themselves. And I do believe that, I mean, there's been times that I have been dragged. I do speak up. CJ's my friend, Dawn. But where's CJ's support? Where is it? When any of us are getting dragged, I hate to say this, you're on your own.
You really, really are. You absolutely are. You know, when it comes down to it, because everyone has their own things going on. Everyone has their own, you know, issues going on with different people. So you know, if you got creators coming out, where's my loyalty? Where's and you can turn back and say, well, where was you when I was going through something? I didn't see you, you know, speaking up when I was going through something.
No, they didn't get involved. And you know something, that's quite all right. And I understand that. I do understand that. Because we've all got a choice. But my choice was always to come onto YouTube, have a bit of crack, right? Have a chat with my friends, do a bit of videos or some shorts that I enjoy doing. And that's it. Not to get in down and dirty, fighting with people. No, that wasn't what I came on here for. And CJ is over it as well, but she can speak for herself as well. I'm not going to speak for CJ.
And she does get a lot of support. I've said a couple of times when something's happened to CJ, there was GSM and there was that stuff, being accused of photographs and things like that. And I did go on my channel and say absolutely wrong. So there is times, and when I've come up and been vocal about it sometimes.
The thing is, a lot of it is down. One creator will drag another creator, that creator will drag back. It's back and forth, back and forth. Why should anybody, really, when you think about it, why would I jump into that? Why would Sagacious? Why would Dave? Why would any of us? You can support people privately. Hey, Lucky's mum, I know where I stand. People that know me know where I stand. I don't flip-flop. I don't do this. I don't do that. But I can say, yeah, I'm not getting involved in this shit. And the reason we're talking about it is because a lot of us are fed up. Just at the minute, we are. I mean, Dave, you haven't been in chat. I know you haven't been well.
Nope.
But I bet you don't miss it either.
I miss doing the lives with Sagacious. But at the moment, I'm just so physically tired. I mean...
yeah. I mean, the pair of us, you've had a really, really bad accident, like really, really bad.
Oh,
my dad's been poorly. He's still in hospital right now. So there's bigger things, been happening, hasn't they?
Yeah, it's when you get affected by outside influences, you've got to take time off, obviously. But I do miss that side, and sometimes I do miss going live, and then I think, well, I'm too bloody tired to. I mean, I've been last few days. I must have done about 90 miles walking, and with the way my hand is, I've got to learn to use my other hand at the moment to hold Sam when I take him out for a walk and stuff like that. And I mean, I haven't particularly slept well. I've had nightmares of bloody dogs attacking him again. So, so it's so I'm going to take time off for that. But I still will come in on certain lives, and I'll still be there for chats and when people go live. But it's like I said, I've walked away from the hardcore dramatists.
Yeah.
What's it? It's terrible when you get old, you see, as well, because nothing heals as quick as it used to.
Yeah, it takes longer to heal, doesn't it?
And, pardon me, Lucky's mum, it is exhausting here. I'm tired of the ones I really enjoy, like and care about, get hurt, it gets old. And it does get old. And I do know about Coach Eli.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
He doesn't mention Lycan, but Lycan keeps bullying him for content. Right. Again, I don't agree with that. I don't think he should. I don't think he should live stream him. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree. I was going to go over to see Coach Eli because he seemed pretty cool. And then there was that clip, of course, about
Gabby Petito.
So I just couldn't. When I heard that, I just couldn't.
Well,
yeah, that was pretty bad. He said she deserved it, basically.
Well, the best person to ask about Coach Eli is Skady. She will tell you the ins and outs of him because she's known him a lot longer, and she recently fell out with him. And
when I just hear that, just that clip, and I know we shouldn't judge people on just a clip, but it put me off enough to not go in there. It really, really did. It was really, really bad, and I know people pick the worst or best for clips, so I know that Lycan's not going to pick the best of Coach Eli, but it was very, very bad, and it was enough to put me off popping in his chat.
No, I won't be. We stood up to people that spoke about Shanann, and I hear this victimology. Nah, it's not. It's ripping a dead woman apart. That's what it is. Her, victimology hasn't got anything to do with her eyebrows, what trousers she wore, the way she spoke. No, it's not. Coach Eli, when I heard that, I don't know anything about him. Don't know anything about the man. All I knew is that him and Lincoln streams him, which I don't agree with. Going to have to say it. Don't like it. But for him to come out with something as outrageous as that, really, that young girl was murdered.
Yeah. And he actually come out and said, "Oh, she deserved." Oh my, yeah, that was enough. That was enough for me. I don't need to find out anymore.
Replay, are you in the house?
Hello. Oh my
Thank
God, my
God.
dog. I swear to God, my dog, right? Yeah, what's it? My kid come in room, and the next minute our blue just dive bombed on me and knocked phone out. What is a nutcase? I've had to put him in the other room. Crazy dog.
No, we were just having a good chat. And I think a lot of us feel the same way. I can't speak for everybody. And yeah, truth teller. I mean, what has been done to her has been horrendous. I just don't want to do it anymore. I literally feel physically and emotionally dirty being in the same space with some of these people. I am so far above the parasites that have invaded our space. Yeah. Yeah. That's perfectly said. It is. So it's up to us not to participate. Now, obviously, truth teller is doing the right thing, and she's going down the legal route. Personally, I've always said it on here. If somebody's in the UK or Ireland and they were saying horrendous things and lies about me, I definitely would take them to court. I've no problem with that. So she's doing right. She's absolutely doing right. Because sometimes you just have to go that extra mile to get someone to shut their mouths about you.
Hi, everybody in chat. I can see you all, but I can't. What she's doing. It's disgusting what they've done to TT. You know what I mean?
It's been terrible.
It is, and it's not fair. It isn't fair.
You know, when did it stop being calling each other bitches, calling each other this, that, or the other? When did it start to be all this?
I know. I mean, first of all, it was just like little jabs, wasn't it? You know, you're a mathy. You know what I mean? I don't want to say it because obviously I'm from Nottingham and I like to say CUNT a lot. I can't help but this sad dry British humour. You know what I mean? And then some people from the USA do not understand it, and they think we're like being horrible, but we're not. We're blunt, aren't we? Really? And it started off like with name calling and stupid things, and then it got to doxing, then it went to kids, and now we're now beginning, people's personal tragedies. It's disgusting, and my heart breaks for TT, and it does. It's sick.
I didn't listen. But truth teller knows I support her.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I didn't listen. I didn't participate in any of it. I couldn't listen to that.
Yeah, when people were chatting about the Moon channel, I think I saw it for about 5 minutes, and I just went, "Oh my God, this woman is crazy. That's enough."
She's delusional, that girl. She's she's one of them people what just sucks the life out on you. She's an emotional vampire. That's what she is. She's a tragedy or what just runs on drama. Do you know what I mean?
But I also think that people have used her.
Yes,
they have lit the fire, and she's throwing those fireballs. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think she's okay. She might be popping up later on here, hopefully.
CJ is the very best. I was talking to her today, and hopefully, hey AJ, hopefully she'll be on later. But I do know that G comes over at the weekend, so there's that.
I mean, yesterday I saw she hasn't been on since New Year, has she?
She's been on here. No, you're right. Actually, she hasn't.
Oh, yeah. What I'm saying is she's not been on at all, and then obviously him over there who refers himself to a tampon. I mean, come on. We've got him. I mean, he looks like a bleeding vagina with strip on head, like a Brazilian wax anyway. He needs to sort his life out. Do you know what I
I
mean?
don't talk about him. We don't
I
talk
mean,
about each other.
no, I'm not saying his name. Not saying his name. What's it? Because it's disgusting.
You know, and I
And
know that probably infuriates people as well, because they're probably like, Juror, you're bound to have an opinion. You're bound to say, think this, that, and other. But you know what? I'm quite happy. You know, if somebody's not coming, maybe that's the wrong, maybe I'm in the wrong. I don't know. I think if you have an agreement not to go at each other, you should stick to it. Hi, Caroline.
well, I ain't agreed with no one.
But if you notice,
it?
it still seems to be a select few that will go after tragedies of people.
Yeah, and it's disgusting. I mean, like I said, she hasn't been on since what, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, whenever. And he's making videos, obviously mocking her. So she responds, and I don't blame her. So I went over just to have a look, and my God, I couldn't listen after 5 minutes. I mean, it referred herself to being a tampon. It referred to his community chat as the menstrual blood. I couldn't believe it. I just gobsmacked, honestly. And then I think
you know what? It's our choice whether we want to watch that and listen to that replay.
And oh my God, I swear to God, I felt sick. And I had to go in, do you know what I mean? I think I commented under Pesky's post, right? Yeah. And I think everybody thought I was making it up. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I couldn't believe it. They're just crackers, aren't they?
For CJ has to, you know, she knows herself.
Yes.
Her anxiety not to watch and listen to things, because your name is going to pop up. Your name is going to pop up. It is. We're all going to get jabs at some stage. I mean,
but that's what they do. Nobody talks about them. Sorry, nobody.
Yeah, but there is going to be times that your name is going to be brought up, and there's going to be a jab. I mean, Sagacious, you've had jabs. You haven't said anything.
Yeah, I mean, I just laughed about it. It's quite funny, actually, because obviously Lycan just calls me saggy tits and educated and what have you. And then I said to him, you got to be a bit more creative. I've heard all that before, Lycan. And then Siren comes in, oh, well, let's call her sebaceous cyst. I'm like, I don't even know you. But anyway, yeah, I just laughed it off. I thought it was quite funny.
Crazy times.
See, for me,
I'm going to be one of those, like, maybe it's because I'm from the north of Ireland. I don't know, right? It probably
my God, we've got everybody from different parts of England here.
I've just realised.
We've got where's Sagacious from?
England.
Yorkshire.
I know
Yorkshire.
Where are you?
Yorkshire.
You near me then, my duck?
Hey.
Oh, and then where are you, Big D?
I'm up in Scotland.
Scotland, Ireland, and Yorkshire. Nice.
I think, Ginger, that's what you've got to do. You've got to put ice on the bruises and move on. You know, yeah, you're right. You've got a choice. You're either in the drama or you're not. And I think I'm realising that now. We're either in it or we're out of it. I've always said I like a bit of light drama and a bit of a gossip. This stuff that's been going on, I haven't been in, I just didn't want to be involved in any of it.
Well, I officially resigned yesterday from everybody. I'm nervous. I've gone solo. Do you know what? I said it from first time I ever come over here, right? I said I'm an antisocial bitch, which I am. It's all about me, myself, and I. Then I don't fall out with no one. It's simple, isn't it? Keep it swift and clean, but not really, because I do like some people. And then people, they know who they are, the special ones.
When sometimes it's getting too much, I'm just keeping on cooking. I just think to myself, keep on cooking, keep on cooking.
No, I mean, everybody's just screaming. There's no laughter. We need some fun.
I think we do.
Oh my God, we need to do bingo tonight. Let's play bingo. Can we play bingo?
Well, not tonight, we can't, but we can some night.
Not tonight.
No, definitely. I think
Well,
we
I'll
need
be
a bit
doing
of
a quiz
prank.
soon. I was going to do a Christmas quiz and then things happened and it never sort of come out. But I will be doing a quiz soon. I hope everyone joins in.
No, I
And
hope so.
there might even, Juror, I haven't told you this, there might even be a prize.
Oh,
Ooh.
maybe a mug.
Loki's mum.
It could be.
I've just seen you comment. Loki's mum, I love you to bits. You know that you're my girl, and so is Jill. And then Pesky's my girl as well, and a few others in chat. But I'm not. I don't mean I've resigned from yous lot. You lot are all. You're in the crew. I'm on about the
Drama.
create.
I have to
of
say,
this.
Pesky's meme. She had the moon, crazy moon, in black and white, taking a swag. Oh my god, I laughed my head off. Pesky.
Her
That
community
meme.
posts
It
are
was
hilarious.
brilliant.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, I mean, a year. Can you remember when everybody? Do you remember a year ago when everybody used to get on?
No.
I mean, I remember one
No,
time. I mean,
I don't.
no, in fact, it might have been a little bit before that, actually. I remember seeing you in. I used to venture over to Dorothy's until she
I
went.
think I do remember you.
Yes,
And
you
me
do.
and
If
you
you
always got
remember, I
on
wasn't
really well.
replay. I wasn't
We did.
replay. I wasn't replay then. And
No, you weren't.
no, obviously I was Sarah Louise.
What were you
But
before replay?
I've been here for a few years. Sarah Louise. Sarah Lou.
Sarah Lou.
Yeah.
Hey, Sanders C. and
And
Ella
that-
Beth.
yeah. That's what I mean. So everybody, and what it was, the reason I changed my name to Replay, great, well, because obviously I just seem to roll with Americans. Stupid o'clock. They decide to go live at our stupid o'clock. I have to get up at stupid o'clock in the morning to do the school run. So they're like 9 o'clock in the morning is my 3:30 when I'm picking kids up. So
Pick the
and
kids
then
up.
picking
The
kids up.
accent, I like the accents. The accents are mad. TT, you are so right? You've got replay crew, replay. All right, replay.
Oh,
All right,
I'm trying to. I know I'm trying to talk normal because I don't want to give. I don't want to give my I mean my kids. I mean my daughter. I've got 2 daughters and a son. I mean my son just looks at me thinking, "Oh my god!" You can tell the shame. You can see it.
And then you've got just sagacious. All right, love. All right there, love.
And Arabi, my
And
middle
then-
one. She calls me a chap. She calls me a chap. Cheeky. She goes, "Mom, don't talk like that." She
Don't
goes,
talk like
"Talk
that."
normal."
Like that.
And then now,
Hey.
Big D
Are you?
has a very
Are you?
nice accent.
I know. But
Dave has been educated somewhere.
Oh,
Not that I'm saying you girls weren't educated, but Dave is living in Scotland, but he's from down south.
oh my God, Dave! You know my best friend, right? She lives in a little place near you. Well, I don't know if it's near you, but I know it's near Country Joe. She lives in Aisha. Aisha. I just say it.
Truth
Aisha.
Teller's got a good one. Now we're going to
That's
get
the one. Yeah,
right,
that
Truth
one.
Teller. Some of the accents, the redneck. I would
It's in
have
my
to
hand.
say it would be
Me.
hmm,
Oh no,
Devon.
I'm from Robert
Palm
Country. I'm from
Ayers.
yeah. Oh.
Palm Ayers.
Ah, yeah.
What, Sagacious, what was her accent?
Well, a bit similar to Dave. Gloucestershire, wasn't it?
No, I thought she was a mix between. No. Is she Welsh? Welsh with a bit of Scottish thrown in. She has got a weird accent.
Somerset, Cornwall.
Somerset. Ah, she's a farmer. Farmer gal.
Now, in Northern Ireland, we have JD and me sound very, very similar. We would be from County Down. County Down would talk a bit. Then you have the ones from Belfast that you can't even understand a word that they say. And they talk really fast, 100 miles an hour. Again, you could go 10 miles and the accent completely changes.
It's mad, innit? Mad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my accent is different to the Ashfield area. You got your Nottingham, haven't you? Nottingham. Then you've got Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
And then the Ashfield area. My God, I walk over there, and then they just think I'm from like I'm a foreigner. I live in the
My-
same bleeding town as them lot. Do you know what I mean?
My
But I'm
friend
from Robert
Mark,
Hood.
my friend Mark on here is from Nottingham.
So we know how it's done over it, though. You know what I mean? We know we live in Robin Hood country, right? No
You
man's
do?
land. So
Do
all
you
right,
remember Jim McDonnell out of Coronation Street?
Oh
aye.
yes.
So she did.
Let
So
me
she
tell
did.
you,
So she did.
I do know a famous person from Coronation Street. I'm going to
Do
put
you?
it out there right now, right? And he's from about what 10-minute drive from my house, and that be old Christopher, who used to live in Huthwaite, who plays Ken Burlow's son.
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
Truth bomb right there.
Well, Gary, you know the ginger kid, Gary, he went to the same school as what my daughters went to in Scarborough.
And you know my mother, bless her socks. Anyway, she used to be friends with, can you remember Lorraine Chase?
yes.
Oh yes.
Luton Airport. Ooh,
Yeah.
hey, ooh. Luton Airport. Do you remember
Yeah.
that song? I danced in the living room to that.
And then I live about 20 minutes from the Bring Me Horizon boys, me. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
And then 2 minutes down road from
Bring the Horizon. My daughter loves that band.
I know, they're nice, aren't they?
Oh, Pete, that's a good one. I love the South accent. I do. Like the deep South accent. I love it. I do. Americans I can understand pretty well. And Meg has a lovely accent. But have any of you ever heard two Australians at it fighting on here?
Oh my God, they are crazy, aren't they? Sorry, no offense, Mel, if you're in the chat.
It's like,
Jesus Christ.
what was I said to you? Sagacious, two Centrelink girls go round outside, round outside, round outside.
Oh.
Centrelinks, eat your heart out. It was like, I've never heard anything like it in my life.
You know what Pesky's just said? I saw Les Battersby in a pub in Colwyn Bay. Did you know that Les Battersby, he found one of the dead bodies from the Yorkshire
Ripper?
What,
Yes.
Yorkshire
He did,
Ripper?
yes.
Yes,
That's
he did. Yeah.
true.
Yeah, in Huddersfield, there's a rail line, and just by the rail line, there's it's a wood yard. And by the wood yard, there's like little gardens that you can do your gardening and your what's it? Well, she was I can't think of her name, but she was buried just between the wood yard and the little gardens there where he found her.
Yeah. What she found under it scattered some like near a rubbish tip sort of thing.
Yeah, close to
Is
it.
that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think where I live, I can tell you what criminals what live near me. We've got a few.
So have we. I'm in Northern Ireland. We have quite a
I know. I know your criminals down here. They're
I'll bring
crackers,
you in the
mate.
dairy.
Innit? What's it? I mean, it's like the Cockney. I was watching a video earlier on, right? Yeah, somebody doing a reaction video to all the accents in England, and they touched on about 20, and he couldn't understand. Like, you've got your London accent, and then you've got your Cockney accent.
It's hard. It's hard to kind of.
I know. And he was doing a live, and he goes, because obviously I was in the chat with him, right? Yeah, and then I went up on his panel, and he says, "What does what, Rick? You're talking down to me like a mug. Apples and pears, your governor." I went,
Yes.
I says it's easy. It says, yeah, but was you being disrespectful? But I love it. But I said to him, I got him to say a few things what the Americans say. I mean, I did it with Christine the other night on phone. I said, please tell me how you say aluminium.
Aluminium.
We say aluminium. They say aluminum.
Oh yeah,
they do.
Aluminum.
Yeah, aluminum. Yeah.
It did. And I get her to do it all the time. I had to record it the other day. It just makes me laugh.
Aluminum. Oh yeah.
We used to get people in chat saying, Juror, can you say situation? She used to get that all the time.
Situation. What kind of situation are we in? We're in a right situation.
And it just make me the crackers. And then when I refer to people as a mug, you mug me off all You're just a muppet. Well, they are. Some of them are muppets. But I'm being nice. I'm being nice, though. I do love my 71. Where is she? Is she in chat?
71's in chat.
Yes, because the other day I had about 3 different people saying, "Have you seen 71? Have you seen 71?" We
I
didn't see her
know.
for a
I
few
got
days.
worried.
Yes, we
Hey,
all got
happy
worried, so
Easter.
it's nice to see
We
her.
did. She's all right, though. We sorted it. Sound. She's my right-hand girl here. Love that kid.
So what do you think? Now, everybody in chat, please don't worry. I'm not going to go over the affidavit. I'm not. I'm just going to pick out a few select pieces of the Idaho 4, because I am very interested in what you all think, right? I do know that this has been put out. I mean, I think everybody has read this affidavit out. Yeah. So I'm not going to do it, but I am going to pick out some select bits that we can talk about. And I would be interested in JD's opinion very much in this. And as everybody, before I do it, as everybody hit the thumbs up.
Oh yes, get them thumbs up, please.
Yeah, come on now. Now, I did hear from another channel. It was apparently audio that was leaked. And it was apparently from that night.
Oh.
But it's already been...
Yeah, it was missing audio. I don't think it was. Was it recorded not 50 meters at 50 foot away, or 50 meters, 50 yards? Sorry, I do apologise.
Has it already been debunked?
It's been debunked. It's not.
Yeah. You do hear. I mean, I've seen the video to it as well. It's on TikTok. Am I right?
Yeah.
But obviously somebody put it on and said it's gospel. Do you know what I mean? And if it is, I'm not saying it's not fake or whatever. But you know, if it is, and hearing him scream like that is disgusting. It made me, honestly, I had to log off after that.
But think about it. Moscow police knew about who they were honing in on already from the start. So they're not going to let a leaked audio, especially one like that, out. They're just not.
Well, I'm going to say, I don't mean that. I tell you something, Moscow police, I've got to put my hands up to them. Respect, right? Yeah. And all of they made out, you know, everybody were calling them saying they're not doing nothing. And all along from day one, they knew exactly who it was. Do you know what I mean? Respect. And then I only found out today by going through, you know, obviously it's a 19-page document, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to sit and read it again. And I must have missed this on first one, but you know, the second back page, I didn't know that it actually was followed. And you know, they were doing the cell pings on the towers.
Oh yes.
Right, this is after the murders. Right, he went and he went towards like a national park. He was seen getting items in this store, whatever it is over in America. Obviously, they've got video surveillance. They've got the receipts, so they know exactly what he bought. And then he went to a national park over there and turned his phone off for 3 hours.
Wow.
And then,
it's not real. It's a dud. I'm going to say that. It's an absolute dud. That audio is not. That is not the real deal.
So, honest opinion then, do you think you did it?
Oh, well, we're going to go through that. I mean, I think when I look at that affidavit, and I look at the affidavit that we got from Delphi, I'm worried about Delphi.
Yeah.
I'm very worried about Delphi. But Big D and Sagacious don't really know an awful lot about
Don't know enough, yeah, unfortunately.
I haven't been able to catch up on it, you see. So.
Oh my God, it is crazy.
Right,
You've
cool your jets, girl. Cool your jets. We're gonna go through a wee bit, and I would be interested in see. Hey, Coco, how are you? Now, we know that obviously there was 4 young students stabbed on the 13th of November, and YouTube has been wild about it since then. And Moscow police have been on the ball from day one. Obviously, they didn't tell us YouTubers that. The cheek of them. And they arrested him. They got the probable cause, and there was a 19-page affidavit, which is a probable cause that they presented to the judge for the arrest of Brian Koberger. But there's been a few shockers in this affidavit, right? Now, I think, well, no, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read just a few bits to see what you think.
Oh,
right?
I mean,
Here we go.
I'll listen a minute. But I think he might as well just guilty. Get it up, spare the parents. Spare the parents.
Officer Smith, again, I'm just taking parts out of this from the affidavit. Here we go. He goes into the house. Obviously, he wasn't the first on the scene. He went at a later time at 4 p.m. as a walkthrough, and he's seen the 4 victims. Okay. Now, there was 2 other people in that house that night that were not injured, and they're called DM and BF. Okay. We're not going to use their names. And the 2 survivors, I don't believe they had actually contacted law enforcement that morning. Law enforcement were contacted by others that had come to the house and found the bodies. Is that right?
Yeah, midday.
Hey, Mandolin.
12 dinner time. So for 8 hours.
For 8 hours.
Yes.
So DM and BF, this is the 2 survivors, both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were all home at 2 a.m. and asleep, or at least in their rooms, by approximately 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Zana, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at 4 a.m. Okay, they identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. DM stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the 2nd floor. DM stated that she was woken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Kaylee playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the 3rd floor. A short time later, DM said she heard who she thought was Kaylee say something to the effect of, "There's someone here." A review of records obtained from a forensic download of Zana's phone showed this could have been Zana, as her phone indicated she was likely awake and on the TikTok app at 4:12 a.m. DM stated that she looked out of her bedroom. Now, this is where the whole of the internet is on fire with this. DM stated she looked out of her bedroom but did not see anything. When she heard the comment about someone being in the house, DM stated she opened her door a 2nd time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Zana's room. DM then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera located at 1112 King Road, immediately to the north of 1122 King Road, picked up a distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper. A dog can be heard barking, starting at 4:17 a.m. DM stated she opened the door the 3rd time after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the black sliding glass door. DM locked herself into her room. She stated she did not recognise the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene.
Yeah.
The combination of DM's statements, reviews of forensic downloads of records from BF and DM's phone, they believe that the murders happened between 4 and 4:25 a.m. They also found a shoe print outside DM's door, right? So
it's what past Vans, want it? The diamond shape,
yeah.
diamond pattern Vans.
So the big thing at the minute is she locked her door. She opened her door 3 times and she closed it 3 times and locked it the last time. That was it.
And never, exactly, didn't do nothing for 8 hours.
But somebody said something today and it reminded me of a few things. Do you ever remember when Elizabeth Smart
Yes.
was kidnapped?
Yeah.
Her sister opened her eyes, saw a man in the room with a mask. She was stricken, she said, with terror.
Yeah, traumatized for weeks, wasn't she? Never
She
said no.
lay on her bed, she did not move, and she fell back asleep until her mother noticed in the morning. So it does happen. What do you think, Sagacious?
I think it does happen, and I think that the events were so outrageous, it doesn't come into normal human brain pattern straight away. We don't think, oh, someone must be murdering someone upstairs. It doesn't filter through. They've probably had a few drinks. It's 4 in the morning. They're tired. Sometimes you might think, am I dreaming this? This can't be real. Your brain doesn't really compute it that well. So, of course, you hear a noise, you're scared. Actually, especially at a young age, it is quite possible that you could just shut the door, lie back down, and fall asleep because 1, you're knackered. 2, you're not quite sure what's going on. And that's
It's a bit, yeah, and it was a busy house anyway. You want it because there's 6 people in there.
Look, I've been to house parties when I was young. I've shared a house with other people. I shared a house with 3 blokes once for about a year or so. It was great fun. But it were noisy. Sometimes I'd have parties, sometimes people would come round, sometimes they wouldn't. So we would hear noises and we would just go, and we just ignore it. So yeah, it's obviously a busy household. There's obviously people coming and going. As I say, your immediate reaction. If I was sharing that house with them 3 fellas and I heard a bang in the night, my immediate thought wouldn't be, oh gosh, there's someone upstairs being murdered. It just wouldn't. It wouldn't enter my head because it's so far beyond what we would normally think.
You see, you said something there which is right. She did not know that there was 4 people murdered. Think about that. Who would think that there was 4 people murdered?
You wouldn't. I mean, they've come back from a party, haven't they? They've all been out. Obviously, the students, the college kids at weekend. They've all had a drink. They've all been to different parties, so they wasn't all together. So they've come back, gone back to sleep. Obviously, I was under the impression that the 2 victims, the 2 survivors, was in 2 different separate rooms on the downstairs, on the very low floor. On the low level. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy, and it's like all jumbled up now because I thought they was all on the same landing. If you know what I mean, it's crazy that has, isn't it?
It is. There's stairs where there shouldn't be stairs.
Yeah.
Dave, do you not think it sounds? You've daughters, and say if they'd been out. Now we don't know if there was drink, alcohol, what drugs were taken, if any, right? She might not have been in her full sound mind either. Do you find it strange that she locked the door and didn't appear until someone else came that morning?
No, I think she was in shock. Because it hits you relatively quickly. I'll give you an example. When the other day when I was trying to get Sam off this dog's leg and I hurt my fingers, for a few seconds I didn't know where I was. My mind had just, I think it just flipped over. And I think any of us, if we had woken up and we had gone to I don't know, any part of any of our houses, and we saw a figure in black, our first reaction probably would be to try and get somewhere safe.
Mm.
Now, whether or not she fell directly asleep, I mean, she could have been tired. I mean, there could have been drugs, there could have been drink, it could have been a mixture of both. We don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I'm thinking
Exactly.
that
When
too.
she's been asleep. I mean, me personally, if that had been me, I would have obviously it's fight or flight, isn't it? You don't know what's going on, so obviously you got to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you lock yourself in the door. I'd barricade my door. I'd
Yeah,
have
and
an heavy object.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
and I would ring the police. You
sharing a
know what I
home is
mean?
very different. Sharing a
Yeah,
home with different people is very different to in your own home.
But
In
if
your
you,
own
yeah.
home, you hear a noise, you go, shit, there's someone in my home. But when you're sharing a home with different people coming in and out, the noises are very different.
but he does
I want to get
seem
used
to
to.
like the limelight. I mean, he's always looking at. I've seen a few bits and pieces, and he's always looking at a camera dead on in the face. He's always looking at you in the face with that stare.
I think I'm more shocked at him being a criminal justice, having
Yeah,
PhD, doing his masters,
Mhm.
and he obviously had a target. And I believe definitely Kaylee
yeah,
and Madsen,
yeah.
the sheath Dave off the knife, a K-bar knife, the sheath now was left lying beside them. So obviously, I believe he killed them first, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do. I think he went up. I think he killed the girls. I think he was expecting to see Kaylee on her own, or Maddie, who was staying over for the weekend. Was it
Uh,
Madison? She was moving, wasn't she?
I think so.
Yeah. So I think Kaylee was the target, but obviously it's gone in. She's there, so obviously he's done both. He's left his sheath there. He's come out.
Mhm.
Obviously, he's heard the noise. So I'm thinking that's when he was either in the property and he's heard the door go. Obviously, that were her food being delivered. And then I think he's come back down the stairs and he bumped into Ethan, and I think he's just panicked. I don't think. Obviously, he
Well,
just thought the two girls were there. Do
well,
you know what I mean?
Paige was saying earlier in chat a little while ago that she'd seen I don't know if she'd seen, but we'd heard about the interview with BTK's daughter.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he that was one of his tutors. So his
Yeah.
tutor,
Yeah. The
sorry,
woman.
sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
So his
professor he worked for. Yeah.
yeah. So there's that connection there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think
But
it came
yeah.
out as well that he had already been at that house 12
Yeah.
times
Mm-hmm.
from the summer to the night he
From
went in and got
August,
those.
20. So he'd been watching them since August when he
Mhm.
arrived over there. Yeah.
So he knew he was stalking whoever it was in that house he wanted to kill. Now,
Juror,
I think,
there's a question. There's also something you know more than I do. There was a question about him being vegan and
yes,
two of the girls working in a vegan restaurant.
it's not actually a vegan restaurant. It's a Greek restaurant, but they
Okay,
do vegan food.
okay.
But he probably may have seen
Mm.
whoever he.
Yeah.
It could have been a passing. Look, who knows what made him do that? I think he went in there that night to kill one person. There was two people on a single bed, which was
Yeah.
Kaylee and Madsen. That's when he took the knife out of the sheath. This is all my opinion, by the way, people. And yeah, JD, and I think there could have been a kerfuffle when he was coming out of the house. I do think he saw DM standing at that door, but he was making his way out because he thought the police would have been called by that stage. He was in and out. Like, you have to remember Zana was on TikTok at 4:12.
It'll be
It was
interesting
quick.
to
It was
know.
very quick. Wasn't it? Yeah. Very
I've
quick. Just tell Meg. His middle name's Christopher. Christopher.
I haven't heard what
Yeah,
time
yeah,
is
yeah.
daylight there. That's an interesting thing which I've thought of, which I haven't seen anywhere, because a lot of people, I should imagine, if they're trying to get away, you've got that dark to daylight.
Mhm.
So he'll probably want to get away before the daylight when people are getting up and going to work and
I
things
think he
like that.
panicked. I think he was trying to get out of that house when he met Zana and Ethan. He panicked. He didn't have time to kill anybody else. This is only my opinion. But he came back sagacious that morning when there was no...
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yeah.
He came back at 9. And there
To
was
see
no
if he
one
could.
there.
He went back to see. He even went back to, because most killers, right there, the glory.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
Mhm.
He reminds me of Ted Bundy.
Yes, that
Right.
frenzy. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you've got him. He was studying to be a lawyer, which he was. And I think he'll do it himself in court because he thinks he's smart, right? But he's not. Yes, he might have a master's. He might be training to be in all these criminal things. But to actually go out and commit a crime and to think you can get away with it, he messed up straight away from day one. He messed up before he even started it.
I
He messed
remember
up
Anne Rule, the
3
great
months.
true crime writer, always used to say, you bring something to a crime scene and you always take something away from a crime scene. And that's true.
Yeah.
He fucked up. But I actually don't think that he meant to kill all 4 of them. I think he only wanted to kill one person that night. And the rest were just happened to be in the way.
Yeah, I think he's led a sheltered life. He seems like a loner to me, right? But I think he had a crush on Kaylee. I think they've had a bit of she's probably rejected him, and I think that's where it's all stemmed from. But I do think she was a target, and then obviously he's then gone in, he's met with 2 girls, he's come out, he's heard the doors being banged on, the dog's barking. Then you've got Ethan, what comes out is confronted with Ethan, so you take him out. Then Xana's come out, obviously she's seen a boyfriend or whatever, and he's had to do her. So by the time he gets to the other one, what comes out at room, he's knackered. I mean, he's had 15 minutes, and he's brutally killed 4 people. He's gone. So whether she's seen him or not, he probably just walked straight past her and didn't even, or if he did look at her, he's just gone to get away.
Yes, that's what I think.
Yeah.
And JD, you're right. And this is actually directly from the affidavit. Pursuant to records provided by a member of the interview panel for Pullman Police Department, we learned that Coburger's past education included undergraduate degrees in psychology and cloud-based forensics, whatever they are. These records also showed Coburger wrote an essay when he applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall of 2022.
I know, ridiculous, isn't it? So he comes and he's going to get he's obviously planning this from day one when he come here. Plans to be in cop shop, and then he's stalking his victims for his crime, and then messes straight up. Crazy.
So he went back sagacious. They've traced his cell phone, and he went back to the Kings Road residence between 9:12 a.m. and 9:21 a.m. He then drove back to his own residence. So it was only like 10 minutes. He only lived 10 minutes away.
Do you think that was to pick up? He said that he dropped the sheath. Do you think that was to try and pick that up?
Do you know something? Yeah. That's it. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, you're right.
He's gone back home, thought, shit, I've left a piece of evidence. Yeah. He was hoping to bob in and take that away with him.
Yes, because otherwise, why would he have went back there?
Or he went to, like I said, do you think he turned up at the when they had at the college and what's it called? Where everybody, what do they call it over in America? When they have the candles out, they talk about the people what's died.
Vigil.
Yeah, that's it. Do you think he was there? Because some people, most people who do things like that do like to go and see what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, that was a bit. I actually think Sagacious is more on it. that he's went back to get that sheath.
Yeah, he definitely went back at 9 o'clock in the morning. He's realised what he's done. He's gone, oh shit, ain't it? And I bet you know, when he got pulled twice in one day, I bet his arse were flapping. You know it, don't you? You know it.
I mean, he knew he fucked up. He knew
Oh,
that
yeah.
he left that sheath, that was going to be, that was his DNA on it. They were
But
going
then
to
I
get
watched, then I watched News Nation earlier on before you came live, and there was on about, obviously they knew they were following him. That's when I.
But it's not just DNA. They can find out where the knife was bought. They'll be. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, even without DNA, they can trace from the sheet. They can trace back where it was bought, where it come from, where it's manufactured, all that stuff.
It was actually a Marine Corps, United States Army sheath. It may have belonged to his father. No one knows. He could have gone back to see what chaos that he created. I'm more to think that he went back for that sheath. In my opinion. And with Sagacious' opinion too. It's crazy. It scared me.
It just makes you wonder how many more people are out there like him.
Well, Dave, it makes you wonder how many people are stalking you, watching you, and
It really,
you don't
really
know about
good.
it.
And, you know, there's a lot of people like that. My first ever boyfriend when I was 16, I lived with him for 4 years, 16 to 20. And he was like that, absolute psycho. And even when we split up, I'd go out with my friends and I'd say, look, he's going to, you know, we'd come out of the nightclub at 2:30. And I'll say, oh, he'll be round that corner. I said, don't be daft, don't be daft. And lo and behold, he's round the corner. You know, there's people like that that just won't let you go. They'll follow you everywhere. And yeah, it's horrid.
See,
Just
Paige,
show
it
him
could have
some
been his
love,
dad's knife. I mean, why would he have a K-bar knife and a sheath?
He knew exactly what he was doing. He's gone back home. He's pre-planned it with his dad to come back. Obviously, he's been pulled twice, and I do know the first one was not intended, but the second one was. Personally, I just think he just wanted to get him on camera, see if there are marks on his arm. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm either under the impression now he's got his dad, you know, like pulling up halfway on the travel home because it's quite a way, isn't it? They've either stopped off somewhere for a break, and he discarded something in the bin and he's unwittingly gave it to his dad to get rid of, if you know what I mean, or he's just been an idiot and kept it as his trophy.
They did see him taking trash out of his own house
Yeah,
and put that into the neighbour's bin.
yeah, and then cleaning the car at 4 o'clock, early hours at morning. He likes his early hours, doesn't he, Brian?
Oh, Mr. Shannonite. Good evening, my friend.
Mm.
No, it's. Oh, I just hope
You can
that they
imagine
don't.
his face when SWAT team come through. That'd have been amazing. You just know it. You know they're coming straight through windows.
I just hope that they don't go after that DM, and I hope that this soon dries up and they leave that girl alone because it's just too much.
At first, I mean, when I first read that, I thought, how can you? What the hell is she doing for 8 hours? Now, you know, sitting back now and thinking about it, she's I don't know what's it, but end of the day, she gave a statement, so she's got to live with that for the rest of her life now.
Yeah, she has, and she's going to be traumatized.
Yeah, she is, definitely. The other girl was asleep and slept through it all, which she did. So what can she? And now she's got. You know full well when they go to court, she's going to be ripped to bits on that stand. You know that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. But
And
they are.
it will all come out, and I think it's going to be very, very innocent.
But normally, to just get a warrant to bring him over, they don't know. I was quite surprised how much information, and that's only a tiny bit what they've got on him. So if they've released all that, what have they got on him? So it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
I mean, I think that's him done.
He's screwed. He's screwed,
basically.
Now, he just wanted to come back. I think he waived his rights, to see exactly what they got on him. And obviously, he's been he's been shown this document, what we've all seen. Obviously, he's probably seen a little bit more. So he's going to weigh up his options now. When back at court on 12th, isn't he?
The 12th, but there's now there is a gag order, which is good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a bit of a bugger for the YouTubers, but I think they needed to do that.
Yeah. But I think he needs to. She's supposed to be a really good lawyer or something. So she's got somebody off before the murder by, I think it was a statement with a police officer.
No,
So
Bones, you can write away, girl.
She has got her work cut out. Do you know what I mean? And I think the best advice she could give him, really, seriously, is just to admit it and spare them families from having to sit through all that.
I think that the fight for his life, that's the best that they can do.
Yeah.
I think it's quite a slam dunk case.
Exactly. But we've only got a little bit there. Obviously, they've got more, haven't they? I mean, I was in a different chat and there was on about the death penalty. Now, I wish we had it over here. I really do. But yeah, to sort out.
No, we should have a discussion some night on that, girl.
Yeah, I'm all for it, mate. I love it. I do. But we should bring it back. We are living in the modern day purge, Juror. It's crazy over here. I'm just so happy we don't have guns available.
You see, quite a lot of people say.
Oh, crazy.
Craftastic, I think the plea that he'll be given, if you admit to this, will take the death penalty off the table.
Yeah, I think it will. They'll give him a plea bargain. I don't think he'll get death penalty anyway. I know it's a death penalty case, but state. But like I said in another chat, I said, hold on a minute. You've got Parkland's shooter. He kills all them kids, right? He got lifed off. You've got the person the cannibal killer. You know what I mean? Who just attacked them two people and ate a face. He got prison. You know what I mean? So what's it? He's going to walk out and go to prison for the rest of their life. Personally, I hope we do a bit. I think he should get a bit of drama in prison.
See, I think it's more. I think it's more being in prison for the rest of your life, never getting out, never walking free again.
You showed all that time, haven't you? In there, because it's not safe in there neither. I mean, like over in our prisons.
He probably will, Coco. Now, I always say, because 80% of my audience is from the lovely US of A, and I always say I respectfully disagree with the death penalty. I'm glad that we don't have it. I just think it's barbaric that you kill somebody, right? So you murder somebody. So we're now, the state is going to murder you. No.
Well, in America.
No. See, this is where I disagree on that, right, Jory? And I see eye to eye. It depends. I think, because obviously there has been through the year where people have been convicted and they haven't done it. Do you know what I mean? So I think personally, if you are doing a death penalty case and you've got the evidence to back it up, I think an outside forensics place should do it, a private one, not connected to it, and double check it. Do you know what I mean?
But they haven't, and there's been people.
Yes, I know. We've been
dead.
Yeah, and they haven't.
I'd rather 10 guilty people walk free than one innocent person be killed.
Well, I'm talking about the death penalty in America. When they've carried out the punishment, on the death notice, the death certificate, where it says how did the person die, they actually put homicide by state.
They do, Dave. It's murder. It's murder. And I remember somebody bringing that up, and they were like, "Oh, we'll have to see if we can get that changed," but they can't because it's murder. It is murder. And do you know that it costs more? It costs like 20, 30 times more to keep somebody on death row than in general pop.
Right. You're going to be on death row, right? What, 18 to 20 years max on some cases, right? No, I'm just saying, but some states are bumping it up a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Get through them quicker, right? But what if you've got? I mean, as a young man, he's 28 years old. He gets life off the rest of his life. right? What if he lives to 70? You guys got another, what, 30, 40 years? And I mean, it's not up to me. It's not my country. I ain't paying for it, but them lot are. I wouldn't want to keep him alive.
Well, it's taxpayers that
Yeah.
pay for it.
Yeah,
You see?
not us. I mean over there. So I'm just saying, nah. I think
I'm
you're.
going
Do
for
you know
a
what I
water
think?
break. I'll be back in a minute.
I mean, each time they go through an appeal, and you go through several appeals over there, it costs millions of
Oh, it
pounds.
costs,
Exactly.
yeah, it costs a lot of money.
You
Now
know what
those
they should
millions,
do? They should put him in a room, right? Yeah, with the mother of the victim. Take the cameras off, leave the door locked, and let them go on with it, right? And let her deal with it. Oh,
but
it's
then there's
sorted, isn't it?
already cases where they might have actually. There's a case in Texas that might be going through the courts there. They think the person's innocent.
Right,
The trouble with
that's the thing. That's why I could never sanction it. I mean, look, I'm all for, if it's the law, it's the law, but I couldn't personally sanction it because I don't want that on my conscience because I'm not a murderous person. So I don't want that on my conscience.
Yeah, neither am I. But what I'm saying is, so what? Right, this is in theory, so don't
Mhm.
take it the wrong way. What happens, right? Yeah, say if you was a mother of one of these children, how would you feel then?
Well, then, see, that's a very good point, Replay, because what I think maybe then what could be said is maybe the family could be involved in the sentencing
Yeah,
because I couldn't maybe do it for someone else, but possibly, as you say, if it was my child, I probably could. So, so if the families were involved in the sentencing, sort of saying, well, this happened to your child. What do you want?
yeah, yeah,
And that was a
yeah,
factor. If it was my child, then yes, I could sanction it. I could, and I
yeah.
would sign it off. Yeah. So
but
maybe maybe that's the thing.
the other thing they found is with states, and especially over in countries where the death penalty was banned, the murder rate actually dropped when it was replaced with the life sentence. And the
It's
thing with
crazy,
the life,
isn't it?
but the
What's
thing
it?
with
I
the life,
mean, sorry. Like yesterday, you've got a 6-year-old kid going to school and shooting his teacher now. He's 6 years old. I mean, come on, that's crazy. A little kid, and
But
it's
that's
just
gun
what.
control. I mean, that's a whole big
Oh,
other
it's
subject for
bullshit.
Americans.
I
We're
mean,
not going to go there.
yeah. Oh no. I'm not on about that. But I'm just saying, you get him from. I mean, what I'd say, what Columbine. That's what kicked it all off,
Mhm.
really, and that's crazy. That was
Like
crazy.
Coco
And
says,
then,
the families will have a say. I think the
yeah,
families are so important. I think the victims' families' view is so important. These some victims' families
yeah.
that don't want it. They'll say, no, not on my conscience. No, thank you.
But there's
And
four.
No,
There's
I
four
wouldn't want it.
families.
too as well.
Do you know what I mean? There's four families involved, and they have the right to be in that choice. And they should, all four of them. Yeah,
but the other
I do
thing
feel.
is, they found that when they started doing all these behaviour courses, I mean, somebody could be, serving a life over here of 22 years, and of course they got to serve the 22 years before consideration before they move down to like the A, B, C, D categories.
Yeah,
A lot of them are vegetables anyway. A lot of them are so used to being inside they don't want to come out.
they're institutionalized.
They're
You know what I mean?
institutionalized, but
Yeah, they are.
the other thing
Yeah,
is, lifers are on, especially in the UK, they're on like a life license, so the smallest infraction they could be back in for a certain
exactly.
amount of time. But they all the lifers are also the population out of all the offenders, like sex offenders, burglars, and all that.
Yeah.
They actually offend far less than any other prison minority in
Right.
this
Let's give
country.
you an example then, Big D. Right. Yeah. Let's talk about Charles Bronson. Yeah.
Yep,
He goes in burglary. We're talking 60s, early 70s.
yep,
He first went in. He went in for assault and burglary, I think it was. He got
yeah,
2 years. Got 2 years. The man's in jail still to this day because he's institutionalized, and he is. Do you know
I
what I
agree.
mean? And he
yeah,
is. And then it's like over here, I could go out tomorrow, have an argument with somebody, right? Yeah, and what's it, and kill that person. Just say I flipped and killed someone, and I'd go to prison. Obviously, I'd get 14 year, maybe 20 at most, right? Yeah, 7 years, good behaviour. I'm out again, and that's
No,
what we need.
See, that
And
I do
that's
believe
true. That is
our
true.
justice system. We
It's
do
a,
believe in.
it's a shit show. It needs
Well, it
updating.
is. It is now,
It's like the
but
prisons as well.
we've in the UK we have 2 different life sentences.
We've got two. We've got the obviously
We've
life
got,
without parole, and we've got the
no,
oh
no,
god,
no, no.
what's the other one?
We've got 2
Life
life
and whole life,
sentences.
isn't it?
Yeah,
You've got
a whole life tariff, right? You've got 60 people at this minute to this day, right? But we have an advantage over the
Good night.
American lot.
no, you've got 2. You've got
You can't have double deputy,
you
double
no.
deputy
You've
into
got
on a case.
you've got 2 life sentences. You've got what
Yeah,
is called the mandatory life sentence, which is the
yeah,
only one you can bring for murder, which is the Home Secretary rules on it.
yeah.
And then you've got the discretionary, which is for Section 18 and blah blah. The trouble with the discretionary is if the parole board rules 3 times in your favour, for example, the Home Secretary is bound by law to
Home
release you.
Secretary does not now, Dave, have the right. That was taken away.
He doesn't have the right to set a tariff.
He has no
No,
right to set a life
no.
tariff now. No.
No,
It's changed now. What's it's like with the double jeopardy? Like in America, you can't if somebody gets found, if somebody's done it and they're guilty as fuck and they get off with a technicality, they cannot be tried for murder again unless
yeah,
they do a civil or private.
There is only 60 people with whole life sentences.
Yeah.
We have about 6 in Ireland. Now,
Yeah.
if I murdered somebody tomorrow, I would probably get a life sentence, which probably means about 17 years I'll be out.
Yeah.
But
Good
if I got a
behaviour.
whole life sentence, I wouldn't ever get it out.
No, you'd have to do something really shitty. Really, I know you're killing someone, but you'd have to do it. What takes it to that extreme
the law
to
says
get there?
the
It's
law
not many
states
get it.
the law states if you kill 2 people in the UK, your crime is particularly erroneous.
Mhm.
If you've
Mhm.
killed a child and it's
Mhm.
particularly nasty,
Yeah.
then you are, the judge is entitled to give you a life sentence. His
Mhm.
Yeah.
hands are slightly tied there.
But look at
A whole
right.
life
Let's give you an example then. What about Jamie Bulger? Let's go there. We've got 2 kids, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
10-year-old.
different though, wasn't it? Because the
No,
perpetrators
yeah,
were
no,
children.
right. Listen.
But
Yes,
they should
right.
still be in prison. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, they should
Yeah,
never be
right.
let out.
What I'm saying is they got a whole life sentence. They got new identities, right? Yeah, which they did. They was held in custody until they was 18, both of them. Then released with new identities, right? One of them, not Venable, the other one, Thompson. He's actually moved on with his life, got a new life. He's even married with children now, believe
Yes.
it or not, right? Then we've got the other one, Mr. Venables, right? Yeah,
He's still in
Mr.
prison.
Venables.
Mhm.
Well, he went back inside, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
went
yeah.
to do for child porn. He went back in for child
Mhm.
porn.
Mhm.
He's been back in 3 times. He's still in custody now.
Mhm.
And I do know a few, but he is being released soon. Now that one, they're discussing it now on probation. But
No,
I do
you
know,
should say. I
yeah, I
believe,
do.
in my opinion now, this is only my opinion, that other man, that other boy, would not have done. Thompson would
No,
not have done what he would have done without
no,
Venables. Absolutely
yeah,
not.
yeah.
We'll get.
I think he was the instigator, Venables. Nasty little piece of work, wasn't
I
he?
think what I don't agree with, I think if you commit a crime at 18, in America,
Yeah.
you go in, that's it, you're not let out again. We've all been 18, right? The person you are at 18,
If I
you're
never
not
murdered
that person at
anyone,
40.
No,
No,
but it's
but what
different
I'm
over
saying
there,
is
though.
you can be,
Yeah, sorry.
there's so much that you can work, you can go through and get,
well, we go back to families again, don't we? Like Replay was saying, if it's your family, I mean, if some 12-year-old, 10-year-old killed my baby, I don't want them out.
Right,
do.
listen, right, let me just say this now. If somebody hurt my child,
Mhm.
abused them, or did anything like the first thing I'd be doing, I wouldn't be ringing no police. I'd be going to that person's house. I would do what I needed to do, right?
And
And
I
then
agree. I agree.
I
Look,
would ring the police up myself
these
and wait
people are
for
not
them.
fit. Yeah, I'd do time, and I'm the same.
You
If
know,
someone
and
hurt my
I
child
would give my
and
kids
they
my
got
last
out,
word.
I'd serve my own justice, and I'd do time for it. And
Yeah, of course,
how
of
it is.
course.
But you
I
see,
would be
Of course you
sitting
can,
there.
Paige.
Yeah,
Lovely's come
yeah.
on.
but the other thing is, if you're under 16 and under in the UK as well, and you commit a murder, for example, and you're found guilty, you're held at Her Majesty's pleasure, which is
Well, it's
another.
not until you're about 18, 21, isn't it?
Yeah, and then once you get to 18 and pass, then you go to an adult.
Yeah. Not necessarily, because what's it? Over here, it's completely different to us. In like you've had kids in America, right? They've been 11 years old and they've been tried as adults. The children. Yes, what they did was wrong, but they're still growing. They're still
Mhm.
children and they're still developing. They shouldn't be tried as an adult, right? They're not an adult, a legal adult, until they're 21, right? Over here, it's a bit younger, it's 18. But in my eyes, they're still growing. They're babies, even at 20. Do you know what I mean? It's like over here. A
Hey,
minor child.
Paige.
Yeah,
Hey,
is
Juror.
it?
I just, you guys are all discussing this about the death penalty and stuff like that.
Mhm.
At least 40 years ago, my cousin was working in a carryout. He didn't know the combination. He wasn't supposed to be working at that one. They wanted him to work there because they didn't have anybody else to work. So there's no way he would know the combination of the safe or anything. Person came in, robbed him. He didn't know the combination. They shot him in the back of the head. He's dead. The
Oh.
same person
God.
the same person robbed a gas station and a bank teller or a bank, the machine, and
Yeah.
killed two other
ATM.
people. Yes, killed two other people. He got the death penalty. He's already long gone. How do I feel about it? Justified. Because you can't just, he's 22 years old. 22.
Mhm.
Are you kidding me? His whole life is just starting. And just because he didn't know a goddamn
Yeah. No.
combination, it boggles my mind because I was working at a store and I just got done talking to him a week before and he's gone. You do the crime, you do the time. And I think that the years that you're supposed to be in that jail are the years that you took away from the people that you killed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I see it now over here, Paige. What I'm going to tell you, you'll be shocked. My friend, her daughter was murdered, and it was brutal. She was 18.
Poor thing. My God.
She was buried in a shallow grave, and he denied it for weeks.
Of
He
course.
finally admitted it, and they managed to get her back.
That's
Now,
by the grace of God.
you know, I've seen sorrow and I've seen grief
That's
twice
worse.
in my life from mothers that have lost their children. And I never want to see it again.
Yeah. It killed
Her killer got 17 years. He's out
How?
and he's living a full life. He also can come to the town where she lives.
Oh, Jesus.
And you can imagine. Now, she's accepted because we are in a country that we believe that you do your time, that's it. There's nothing we can say. She would have liked him to do 30 years, but that wasn't going to happen. Her daughter's still dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, you do the crime, you do the time. You kill someone, you take away their life.
Mm-hmm.
That is justified in saying that you need, all the court cases that I know of, the person that hurt me at 15 did it to 3 other women, went into court, was tried, was convicted, but got off on a technicality, and he can never be tried again for it, and he is free. So how do you justify that? How?
I think
See,
for
that's
her,
wrong. Yeah.
she found great solace in God. She was always a good Catholic,
Same
but
here.
she's definitely a better one now. That has
Well-
been her saviour.
Mm.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't have agreed, even if there was a death penalty, she wouldn't have agreed with it, because to her that was murder.
I
They
know.
need to change it. It's like over there though. We've got the double jeopardy, like I kept saying about the double jeopardy. You can't retry, but we changed our laws what we can now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So they should do that over there. You know, if they get off with technicality, and they know they've done it. So why don't they just bring it back over there? Do you know, it's not right.
And the weird thing is the technicality is like paperwork that wasn't put right,
Yeah.
and that's to the lawyers and everything, or judicial system, that has nothing to do with the actual case, which blows my mind. And and
who's given us the right, as we're meant to be better than those people?
I know
We're not better when we put those people to death. We're murderers.
I don't know, Juror. I don't know.
I get
But
what people are saying.
as soon as he took that gun and pulled the trigger,
Yeah.
he null and void. And
I respect that.
Yeah. He made that decision.
Yes.
He didn't have to do that. He could have just walked away, but he chose to pull that trigger, and he has to pay for his actions.
He could have very well took the gun and just hit him, and then he could have survived that. Anything, but to take someone's life, no. I'm sorry.
But it hasn't stopped.
No.
Murder rate in America.
I know.
It hasn't slowed it down.
I know.
So the threat of death has not prevented them.
Well, I saw a YouTuber, and he said, we have to, and he said, he got lots of controversy for saying this, but he said, we need to go back to the old-fashioned ways of, hanging. If you're found guilty, the only way you're going to make the others fear of something happening to you, because you're about to make that same decision that person did, you need to see what happens to you if you do that. And nobody sees it. It's all done in privacy. It's all done in dark, and nobody knows what happens. You just know that he's gone. That's it. And
exactly. I mean, there was in Lincoln Prison, didn't there? So.
Yeah. And I know many people don't find that right, and many people don't find that, doing something public like that.
Yeah, I would disagree with that, actually. I don't think it needs to be a spectacle, because I think that we are trying to live in a civilized society.
Correct.
And I think that if that was, for me, I do disagree with that. I don't think it's part of a civilized society. I think that brings us down, actually.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
Yeah.
But nothing's working over here, though, is it? Look at the state. I get, yeah, but look at, have you seen? I mean, I've seen, obviously, I do them groups, but obviously I go through all the news and everything, and the amount of stuff what I don't put out, what is not on the, your national news.
Yeah.
And it's not publicised, you know what I mean? And it's not, I mean, there's more kids, at the minute, it's kids killing kids. And it is. There's too many kids dying at the moment.
Just 2 days ago, there was like a 6-year-old walked into school and shot his teacher.
I know.
Yeah, a 6-year-old.
Jesus.
In first grade.
Then his parents or her parents, the child's parents, should be held accountable for.
Yeah. The only way that child got that gun is because of parents.
That's bad.
Exactly.
It is. And why was that not locked up? Look, if I wanted a gun, if any of us wanted a gun in the UK or Ireland, we could get a gun.
We know that. We do.
We could get a gun. Let's be honest. A lot of the guns that's used in America aren't legal. They're passed from one to one to one, of course.
Yep.
Now, we are allowed guns if it's to do with, you have a proper license, all that.
Or hunting.
Yeah, or hunting. Yep, or if you're on the farm, we're allowed a gun. But if I really wanted to get hold of a gun, I could get one, I'm sure. I don't honestly know what the answer is.
I don't either, because I was just you're answering my question. I really don't know what the solution can be, because if you take all the guns away from everybody that's in the public, which would go against our Second Amendment, but if you take all the guns away, the criminals are still going to get guns.
Oh my God, they
Everyone-
make them. They even printing them out on them laser printers now.
Yeah.
Aren't
They do.
they? It's crazy.
And then if they don't have guns, we've already seen in New York them using machetes. So
Well, there was
Oh,
a
it's
gu-
no common over here. Every day you see someone running down the street with a machete. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
it is.
no, I agree with owning a gun to a certain degree, but not carrying it about. But the thing was, I was
Yeah.
watching ABC, was it yesterday, and a guy came in to a restaurant in I can't think where it was. Was it in New York somewhere? And he had a fake gun, and he was carrying it around, and he was demanding cash and blah blah. Anyway, as he walked out, somebody pulled out a gun and shot him in the back about 4 times.
Wow.
But the thing was that the gun was a type of BB gun, they called
Right. An
Yeah, but they are
airsoft
realistic,
gun.
aren't they?
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I mean, over here, our police, they don't carry guns apart from the armed police. Do you know what I mean? And they
Mhm.
don't. So, but yeah, it's just machetes and knives around here, the crackers. Unless
I think
unless
if guns were ever allowed back into the UK, the proper strength guns, because you can get
yeah.
ones that are gas powered. But if you were allowed to own a handgun on your property, and somebody came into your property, and I've said this with Sagacious before.
Well, look at him, that farmer. What's his name? Oh, sorry.
I
You know what I mean?
You mean. Yeah.
The 2 lads what burgled him, he shot one of the kids as they were running away. Yes,
That's
he
it,
walked
yeah.
away from, and he had every right to do that. And he did. Do you know what I mean? But he did go to prison for it, didn't he? But he did get out.
But I mean, all this crap about legal force, if somebody's got a knife on you, unless you know how to defend yourself against a knife, for example, you're knackered. I've always said that if you own a handgun, keep it in your property, but under lock and key. And if somebody comes into your property, you should have a right to
Exactly,
hold,
I agree
at
with you.
least hold them up.
Somebody
And if
comes
they
through
go,
my door, anybody comes through my door, they're getting it. I don't care who they are. Do you know what I mean? Simple as. I've got kids in this house. Do you know what I mean? My priority are my kids. So
Well, like-
if anybody comes through my window, they're getting it either way.
Well, like women, it's a little bit tough for women to try to protect themselves or defend themselves with no weapon whatsoever against a man who does want to do something wrong to her.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, I mean, you've got mace. You could helpfully get him, but mace sometimes is not legal in certain areas. And the only thing that I know of is that, do you ever hear of wasp spray?
yeah, I've
It
heard
has a steady stream. It can go up to 50 feet. And so I have wasp spray. If somebody,
They're kind of
it burnt-
joking. They're kind of joking. Ultimate spray, light the fucker straight in his face. It'll
Yep.
soon stop then.
Well, I mean, the wasp spray, I guess, burns worse than pepper spray does. It'll blind them for a little bit, and it's like a
but in the UK, you're not even allowed that.
No,
because
we're
it's
not.
no, you're not.
No.
No.
That's
Oh
why I
my
said,
God.
anyway, just get
We
a
were
spray,
told-
light it up and do it, innit?
We were told at one time to have in our handbags whistles, a loud whistle.
A
That's what we
whistle.
were told to do.
I mean, a fucking whistle.
Yeah.
I know. I was given that too after everything happened, and I'm like, okay, fine. The only place that the whistle worked is when I worked in the school, and you're on the playground and calling kids in. Yeah, that worked. But usually my voice worked better than the whistle.
And then,
I'm just going to interrupt the broadcast. Lycan, if you're listening, I'm going to answer you here, right?
Oh, what's he
Lycan's
said?
done a community post.
Mm.
Right,
Oh, no.
everybody, now remember, this community is so much worse since Lysol came here.
Mhm.
I don't agree with that, actually, but we'll move on. You ever think about this? Maybe if you shut the fuck up about me, eventually I wouldn't be in your community anymore because I'd be irrelevant to you, right? You all should listen to your friend Juror. My friend Juror. Should I listen to the friend? Maybe I'm getting this a bit mixed up here. She's the only one with a fucking brain up there, right? I'm actually going to agree with Lycan here, right? I maybe didn't put my thoughts across. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what we were talking about, Paige, earlier.
Mhm.
If we don't want to participate or interact, right,
Mhm.
don't talk about each other.
Right.
It's simple.
Yep.
We are having a great chat tonight
Mhm.
about, I don't know, replay. We've had death penalty, we've had a bit of crime, we've had this, we've had that,
we had a bit of everything.
and it's been great. I've really enjoyed it, chatting to you all. This is what I'm saying. I don't want to talk about Lycan.
No, I don't.
No.
Don't
I'm not
even.
interested. I think Lycan is, if he's overdoing his thing on his channel, knock himself out.
No, it's what it is everywhere and everywhere. He's a triggered little bitch, and I
Right?
just don't acknowledge it. So
But we
let him
do.
crack
This
on
is the
with it.
thing. But we do.
I don't, because I said yesterday I've resigned.
Right.
I'm what's it? No,
Right.
not
You're out of the game, girl. You're out of
I'm
the
out
game.
of the game. I'm out of the
Yeah.
game. But yeah, but I will defend myself, and he comes for me, I will go for him. Trust.
Like, I mean,
But I'm
don't
gonna
get me
be.
wrong. We're going to give each other an odd jab here or there,
Yeah.
right? There's other people in this community that I don't particularly care for. I don't talk about them. I don't go into their chats. And we don't. No, they don't talk about me either. I'm not saying in a drama community, of course, there's going to be back and forth if you want to do it. If you don't, just.
But it's not drama though, is it, Jura?
Well, no, I
It's
don't
not
really want to do drama. A bit of a
it's
gossip
toxic.
is all I want.
Do you know what I mean? They're in the wrong community then. They need to go and make their own little community where they want to be violent, toxic, and crack on with it. I'm in the true crime community, not drama. I don't want to be in a toxic thing. I let it laugh at you lot, but that's it. But I won't acknowledge fucking people who are beneath me because I don't acknowledge them because to me, they're nothing. Do you know what I mean?
But it is the same old back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Exactly.
And it's
that's
getting
why
boring. It is
from
boring.
everybody. I'm not a member of nobody's channel. I'm not supporting anybody. I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And there's nothing to stop you, right? Hitting that live button.
exactly, and that's why I will
We'll
be
all
doing.
support you replay.
Mm-hmm.
Paige, Scacious, Big D,
Well, no,
me.
you're going to be covering this trial, love. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
that's true. We're going to do the
Yeah.
doomsday. And we can talk and talk and talk because I can talk the best. You know,
You've
I
got
don't know.
both worlds then. You've got England and you've got Ireland sorted.
No,
Best
Meg,
of
you've
both
made a
worlds.
community post, which she's more than entitled to do, right? I don't know whether it's aimed against me or whatever. I'm saying this community did not just break apart when he came into it. It didn't. I remember being over in Dorothy's.
Yeah.
And it was a fucking shit show. Because Dorothy was fighting with Granny. Dorothy was fighting with everybody.
Yeah, but I'm going back before then, though, Dora. Before then, before
I'll tell you
Jess
how this
come on
community
to
came about. Right, this is how I remember it. Right, there was TT who kicked it all off by talking about Natasha Cooper. Yep.
Yep, that's right.
She came from anti-MM. Now, I did not know anybody from anti-MM.
No, neither did I.
Right? That wasn't my thing. Then, and I didn't really have anything against Natasha Cooper either. to be honest.
Do you mind?
I've never been in their community. Never been in it.
Chat a second. There's a few people saying why we're talking about like and he's not in here. No, he's not. We're talking about his community post. I'm just answering chat.
Oh, sorry, that's me. Changing the subject totally. Are you okay, Paige, talking about this?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's just one statement that he made that I thought was completely wrong and kind of triggering, but
I get that.
I'm fine.
Now, nobody is saying that we all have to be friends and run off and be in each other's chats. No,
Correct.
we don't.
Correct.
No, we don't. But we can ignore each other or be civil, even kind of half civil. Say hello on the streets and move on.
No.
No, not with everybody. Replay.
No.
No,
no.
we're not. No, just certain people. I definitely am civil too. I don't like them and they don't like me, but we can be civil and move on. Now, all this that's going on at the minute, it's just the same old shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're fed up with it.
Exactly. It's regurgitated shit. And it could be the most violent person.
I'm not going to be in Lycan's chat.
Well, neither am I, so it's all good then.
And he's not going to be in my chat, so we're good.
Yeah.
But I also can say when I see things that's wrong that's done to him, right?
I agree with you on that as well, right? And I do. Everybody's wrong on both sides. They've both done shit things to each other. They all have. That's what I'm saying. They've got no clean hands. They're all as bad as each other. Some things have gone a bit too, you know what I mean? It's just got that vile. That's why I'm out on it. Do you know what I mean?
I am my own person. I am my own person. I stand with myself. I defend very few. And I am very close to very few, as you know. And that suits me. That actually suits me. Now, all I'm basically saying, I'm not saying, oh, I'm out of the drama, I'm out of this, I'm out of that, because of course there's going to be drama, but I'm going to choose what I want to talk about. That's basically it. Replay, you're totally out of it, you say.
I'm out. No, well, I'm out coming for a gossip once a week.
Oh, well, that's good. And you're feeling the same.
I'm not going to be supporting anybody who's being vile. I'm not doing that.
Once it gets past crazy, I do step back a little bit. You know, I really do. I just won't involve myself in it because, you know, all the stuff about Moon and all that stuff, it's far too crazy for me. Once it goes beyond, you know, I just step back and crack on, basically. Keep on cooking.
Well, some of the things that are talked about and some of the people that are talked about, I don't know enough information because I'm not on enough or been on different channels that talked about it that I can't really have an opinion about it. So why am I there? I'll listen. And
I agree with what Ginger's saying in chat as well. She's right, what she's just said.
Subs
of different channels who support different people are collateral damage, and it's not fair.
That really is fair, and we try and butt against that. Certainly, my channel and Joe's channel, we don't look where people go. We're not bothered where people go. That's up to you. Do you know what I mean? So, say if I saw someone in Lycans or someone, you know, from my old community that I fell out with, just because they're in there doesn't mean to say, oh, suddenly I think they're the worst person in the world. That it doesn't matter. You know?
I think I look at it differently. I look at it this way, that let's say you're walking down the street and you have 5 different neighbors and all 5 of those neighbors like you and you like them. And all of a sudden, a couple of the neighbors are jealous because you go over to the other neighbor's house. That's the way I look at it. Like, why? I mean, you're being kind to each other. And if each person likes to, and what I would end up doing to solve the problem is I would invite them all over for lunch and say, what's up?
Exactly. Just crack on with it. Let me scratch. Exactly.
Life is way too damn short to worry about little things in life that just bog you down. And the thing I learned is that you keep the people in your life that make you happy, and all the other ones kind of let go of them because they're bringing you down.
They do, and I think this is it.
The difference is that we can log off. They can't. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
They can't. You know what I mean? They choose to carry on. You know, maybe log off, get some sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get some sleep. Because obviously there's a lot of people what need to do that. Get the
Well,
heads a bit of a wobble.
I have a autistic child who talks a whole lot, and so when he walks in the room, it's like, oh, well, I've got to get off of here because it's like I'll never hear the end of this. So, I mean,
But no, you're right, and we're going to move on because at the end of the day, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to be bringing up people that I don't want to talk about anymore. That's it.
yeah.
I'm not going to involve
Overdone
myself
with.
in
That's
any
it. It's
shit.
irrelevant. Sorted. Done.
I know
Over it.
what I want for my channel.
Mhm.
I know what channels I want to visit and enjoy, and I don't have that shit in real life. So, and the people that
Exactly.
Exactly.
I have
That's
their
what I'm
back.
saying. The different people online, the little keyboard warriors, aren't they? But you know, when they're offline, they're the most. I wouldn't talk to nobody like that. Do you know what I mean? And if I did, I'd probably get stuck in mouth. Do you know what I mean? But I would rather, yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, would they seriously log off and talk to each other like that in real life? No, you know it.
There's a couple that I think probably would. Dorothy being one. Anyways.
No, Dorothy's not well.
I'd pay money to see that.
She can't. She's not well at the minute.
Her and Tasha, let them go for it. I'd love to see that.
Oh yeah.
And Tasha, Natasha's not even on. And you know what?
I know.
She might be doing a bit of true crime.
Oh, she did.
But I even miss. She was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't even got
I was never a part of her. I was never a part of her community, right? Because what's it? But I've got to admit, when she does go on, right, when she starts, she can be funny, but she's a vile bitch, and she is. True. But exactly. But if she did what she was supposed to do, she's not supposed to be here. There's a lot of people on this platform that are benefiting what shouldn't be here. Do you know what I mean? Exactly.
I really think that if Natasha didn't let the people that irritate her as much as they did, I think she would have been fine.
Paige,
yeah,
it's money. It's money.
I know.
It's all bloody money, and
I know.
She's exactly. She took normal. She gets nothing. She gets nothing. You know that.
That's
See,
true.
the money and the greed.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, replay. But the money and the greed drives me mad. We came from a community that, oh my God, I mean, JD Sagacious, you all know Meg. He was on every night begging for money. Every fucking night, right? I'm sitting here in the cold and my dog hasn't got
Who's that?
Food, and I'm freezing and armchair detective.
There's grifting in this.
Oh my Lord.
And there's blatant frigging grifting. It's just greedy.
And I think that just put me off the money thing on here. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And then we see Natasha.
They've all learned from it. I mean, they get rich, so they trying it, and now it's just normal. Do you know what I mean? Can't they just be happy with a frigging membership if people choose to buy it? They should be grateful for that. Do you know what I mean? Subs don't owe them nothing. They don't owe them that lifestyle. This is not a job.
No, they don't.
You're not employed by frigging YouTube, right?
I agree.
You ain't got contact with it. Do you know what I mean? It's not a job, and they say, "Oh, it's the job." No, it's not your job. And if people want to give you, let them do it.
There are many things. I'm sorry, replay.
I don't think it's a job, of course, but I also think that people need to be less bothered what other people are doing. I think I said that earlier. Don't be bothered. You know, if they've got a creator and they've got their own community and they've got their own subs and their subs want to give them money, they're there for 4 hours and you entertain me for 4 hours and they want to give them money. Why do we care? It doesn't matter in the big scheme of things. Let them do it. It doesn't affect me.
Oh, no, it don't affect me. Don't affect my pocket. Do you know what I mean? I donated to, what I saw, what was happening with TT. That was bad. And I did donate to that. Do you know what I mean? Because I like her. and it's my money, and I chose to do that. But all the
That's
time,
what I'm saying. As a
time.
subscriber,
Yeah.
if someone wants to give someone $20 or $10 or $20, what does it matter if they are grown adults? As long as they're grown adults and they've got the money and they're doing
Sagacious, you're going very staticky.
Sorry. What does it? Why are people so bothered? Where grown adults are giving their money to? You know, it's up to them at the end of the day.
It's like, well, the 20k for a solicitor, a lawyer that never appeared.
Complete bullshit, exactly.
5k for a private eye that never appeared. No receipts.
You know, from January till April, Juror, she had 56 different papers. 56. Plus membership. Ridiculous.
I don't care about the rest. If she wants a swimming pool or any kind of pools or whatever she wants to do.
She should be in a mansion by now with what money she's had. But that's up to them.
It is. But it's now the blatant lies I have a problem with.
Yes.
Now, if somebody put up and were honest and said, I want
it's for
$5,000
I think one of the biggest problems is what Dottie pulled up, and she said about NC was selling something, making out that it was worth more than it was.
Yes, and that was that's fraud. It is fraud. It's fraud by deception. She's deceiving her community. Like majority of people on these communities are deceiving their audience. You know what I mean? And they are. Well, they say this and that, but do what they want. I don't care. Let them crack on with it.
That's the same thing as like people that do the clickbait with all of their channels, and so you tune in and it's nothing about what it says in the headline. So it's like, okay. I mean,
right, I think
clickbait.
I think my microphone's gone into fix. I've been on so long. I'm gonna drop down. Sorry.
All right, my love.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. It's lovely to see you all. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you. Thank you, Replay. Thank you, chat. I see you in chat, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
You will. No, I think it's the blatant lies that get me every time.
Yeah,
that's just the only problem I have. Otherwise, I don't care who gives what to who.
Yeah,
knock themselves out, spend
themselves. Then somebody said, seriously, if somebody went on a channel and said, "Look, I'm on my arse. I'd appreciate a little bit of help, right? Yeah, if you wanted to, that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Then that's the choice of that person. But when they're saying it's for something and it's not for that thing, and they totally lie, that's what I have an issue with.
Right?
Do you know what I mean? So
I have to say something to you, Replay. Thank you so much for always, like every single time I go into a chat, you're like, hey, thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're my friend. I love my friends.
You see, there is good people. Good night, JD. Well, I'm going to sign off too. It is now 11 o'clock.
Is
We've
it really?
been on here 2.5 hours.
Wow.
That's me. Sorry, I've derailed chat.
No,
it's all of us.
I'm joking. I had to get it off my chest, and now I feel much better now. I do feel better.
You just don't want the drama. You're out of it.
No, but I'm just going to hang out with you guys. I'm going to hang out with everybody in chat because I like everybody in chat, apart from there's 2 people in chat.
We have a great chat. I love my subs, and I enjoy doing this. And on a Saturday, I want to have an open panel. People come up, have a chat, just about anything and everything.
Yeah, it's the community. It's a community roundup shit show chat,
and that's what it should be about.
What got me to look at you first, Juror, is when you used to do your little stories on your YouTube channel about your country and stuff. I loved. I still look at those once in a while.
You know what I'm thinking about doing? I'm going to take my camera. I'm going to film Nottingham Castle. I'm going to show you Robin Hood.
Really? Yes, oh, I love that.
Yeah, when it's warm, not now. It's too cold. But yeah, I will take you where I live. It's beautiful. I live right near a castle because I'm lucky.
Not anymore, Megan. That was my fault. Not anymore. As I say, moving on from tonight onwards, they're not going to be chat about anybody. That's it. Just hit the thumbs up.
Not irrelevant. Don't care. Nothing. laters.
So
Isn't
the
it?
next time I get a really big snowstorm, I will make a video and send it to you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we're supposed to be in snow soon. I've been waiting for it for ages. Can't wait. But
Dave,
it's not
before
like
we
it
sign
was.
out, how
Oh
is
my God!
Dave's
I've got to
hand?
go because my favourite film's on now. Along Came Spider. Have you seen it? Do you know what film I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Along Came a Spider.
Oh no.
Oh
I've
my God! You need. You can't. Only us English guys can watch it. It's on. It's good. It's a cycle. It's a bit. It reminds me of Silent. It's Morgan Freeman. I mean, he's lovely.
Oh, wow.
It's a psychological. We've got a nutcase, a serial killer. So very good. It reminds me a bit of Manhunter and a bit like Silence at Land.
Mm-hmm.
I do like things.
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, Along Came a Spider is brilliant. It's on Channel 5, guys.
Dave,
Well,
tell us about your hand. How are you now?
It's still going. There's probably still some poison in there.
Oh wow.
What you done? What have you done?
Just before New Year's, when was it? On 29th. I was taking the dog out for the last walk. Anyway, there was a chap that came out of his place, and he was calling his dog. And before I knew it, this dog is about twice the size of Sam.
Yeah.
And he caught him on the back. Anyway, Sam managed to get out of his lead and go for this rather bigger dog. Well, they say staffies go for the throat, but because he's smaller, he goes for the legs. So he
you've got the small size. I mean, our Blaze is massive. His head's like, it's fat. He's a big boy, mine. But I've got a pocket bully in all day. And what's it? I have to split them up because they don't like each other. They don't like each other.
Bullies are usually quite gentle. Anyway, to stop the dog's leg being crunched, because you know when they put the lockjaw on, I shoved two fingers into his mouth, and he went through the index finger. The muscle. You know when you bend your tip of your finger.
Yeah.
He's gone through that.
You better take this.
And he also went through the other, the smaller finger.
Yeah, he's gone for your tendons, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah.
Have you cut this?
Anyway, I managed to get his head off, his jaws off the leg.
Yeah.
Didn't feel a thing. My fingers were, they were bleeding. Anyway, I took.
But it's adrenaline, isn't it? You're trying to get your dog off another dog,
Yeah.
and they are with staffs and things like that because they do lock up. Do you know what I mean? I've had to do it myself a few times with our Blaze. I don't trust our Blaze off a lead. If it's a field, he's brilliant with children. Do you know what I mean? But I can't have him off a lead if anybody dogs there. I wouldn't trust him because he's an antisocial car like me. 1 minute he'll talk to you, next minute he'll kill you. He's malleable.
Anyway, next day I got him into emergency appointment with the vets.
Yeah.
The vet saw my fingers. She said, "You better go up to the doctors."
Yeah.
Up to the emergency A&E. So went up to the A&E. They said, "Right, we got to take you in because the finger had swelled to 3 times its size." The index finger.
Wow.
They kept last time tetanus. So I mean, obviously they get you a tetanus shot while you're there. Yeah. But when was the last time you had one? What score?
Oh God, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why.
But they said it was an unusual because the dog's blood is mixed. Because the other dog caught my other hand as well, and that caused an infection on my other hand.
Yeah, both of them chomping on you then.
But I mean, I've got it all stitched up, and I've got the index finger covered up. I've just got to go to.
You got vet insurance?
No.
Do you know that person? You're clean.
No, I got. I start physiotherapy next week. So I get the stitches taken out. So I'm going to do a video on that.
They
You should,
did-
Steve. It's horrendous, though, replay. His hand
Yeah.
is a mess.
I
Oh
can
my
imagine
gosh.
that. I can imagine because they can make a mess. I mean, did you see that? I've seen a video yesterday. I posted it in my group actually. It was a young girl. She's all about animals. She's like a dog sitter. Looking after these dogs, and she's done it since she was a kid. She'd be about 23 now. This one day, and she's had the same dog. These are her own dogs. She's got one pit bull, and she's got one Staffordshire. And we're talking, she's had them from babies, and I think they're about 10 now. Don't know what happened. They just turned. We'll put it this way: she's lucky to be alive. They just had her face, really. She's got no face. That poor girl. You know what I mean? Just gone.
I think, is that one video where the police tried to pull her out of the house and they had to be scared of the dogs? Yeah, I saw that. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Oh, that poor girl. She, crazy.
But anyway, I'm going to go here and say good night. And I hope to see you all next Saturday.
Oh, we'll be about.
For a chat.
We'll see you in the week anyway.
Of course.
Right, but I'm just going to let everybody know now. I won't be replay. I won't be replay after tonight.
Oh, what are you going by?
I'm going back to I'm going back to Sarah.
All right. Okay. I thought you were going to go with some very
but like I said,
name.
No. What's it? The reason I changed it to that anyway is because I was in Kim and Crafton's chat before everybody fell out, and he was actually talking about his ex-partner, and everybody just presumed it was me because I said I'm not that Sarah, so that's why I ended up changing it.
Yes.
So is it just Sarah, or does it have anything to it?
Sarah Louise.
Oh, okay, good. At least I know.
It's nice.
Yeah, I'll keep my channel as replay, but I'll change my send back and put my picture back up.
You probably have to do Paige. It's me.
I won't do. Don't worry. I'll be very in chat.
Okay.
Have a nice night.
Good night.
You all have a great week.
And you as well. I'll probably see you tomorrow.
Yeah. And we'll chat next week, Paige, if you're about.
Okay.
I'll definitely be about.
Happy days, Dave. It was a good chat tonight.
Thanks,
everybody, for coming in.
You're welcome.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Make sure you hit that thumbs on the way out.
Yes.
I do appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you, Craftastic and Bones and Ginger for modding. These are all great. And I'll be back next Saturday. Just for a chitty chat and see what the crack is around the tubes. And we'll just try to be a bit kinder to each other. That's all. So I'll speak to you all soon. Good night, everyone.